Hello, welcome to another Monday of BMBBH, or, Kev being brutally honest. I am the indiscriminate, and what I mean by that is I'm indiscriminate to stupidity no matter who it comes from, male or female. Now, if you have no idea who I am at this point, you just learned something new. If you have been watching and you're surprised and shocked that I said this, then you really haven't been paying attention. But, there's still time. But anyway, just welcome to the show. And as you walk in, please hit that like button. I mean, hit dislike if you want. I can't stop you, but I can't see how many of them it is, and that sucks. I mean, why are people like, oh, we don't want people to be broken by how many dislikes? No, that's to protect people like Amber Heard and a lot of these various social justice publications that uh, throw out their wang in your face and tell you, hey, fuck you. And they don't want to see how many dislikes people are actually going to rack up. So they really do that to protect celebrities. Yeah. I know y'all had enough of the discussion about celebrities. But anyway, mm, yeah. Wow. This space here. And I mean, this is not going to be one of these usual V space conversations or these niggas in the space conversation. It's not going to be your usual. I mean, it might be a little bit, but I don't know, man. I'm just tired of seeing us, grown these grown black men. These are adult black men. These are not children. These are not teenagers. These are grown adult black men. I am tired of seeing grown adult black men have this kind of conflict. I mean, why so emotional? It's just YouTube at the end of the day. I understand that this black manosphere does have a purpose. I do understand that. And a lot of people believe in it, but we have to believe that shit too. Period. Black men. And I'm not saying that we always gotta agree. We gotta be a monolith. We gotta be this in this bubble. Nothing has to be an echo chamber. But wow, I mean, it only takes one incident to put everybody at odds. Grown adult black men probably raised by women. Well, I get it. I get the Discord, but let me shout some of you out real quick. We got RPM in the house. What's going on? Thanks for stopping by once again. We got What the Funk Is This? He says R.I.P. Bernie Mac. Uh, Definitely, but that's not Bernie Mac in the thumbnail. That's Bokeem Woodbine. Uh, Bernie Mac was Janky Leg in life. Bokeem Woodbine was Can't Get Right, but I mean, you had the movie right. So yeah, let me go ahead and, for clarity purposes, in my thumbnail, that's Can't Get Right. Bokeem Woodbine's character in the movie Life, starring Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence, Can't Get Right is a direct reference to that because Can't Get Right was a mute. He didn't talk. So and he seemed kind of carefree and happy-go-lucky, but back in the day they used to call that mentally touched in the head. But for someone who didn't talk and was happy-go-lucky, he sure splacked the hams of that white girl, didn't he? For those of you who have seen the movie, so that was a spoiler for those of you who didn't. But y'all had probably about 20 years to watch this film, so I mean that's on you. You watched. So, and yeah, it's not that I'm, like I said, it's not that I'm gonna really heavily criticize the space and gonna jump all over the space and say what it is. These niggas. But sometimes these niggas, man. And when I say the N word, I mean both. Well, both male and female in this case. I mean, really, it's all of us and everybody's doing it and nobody wants to blame. So how can it be a like I can't be around people who shit on the space too much because whereas you may see it as a like a problematic space, I see it as a collective of black men. And I gotta admit to a little bias to that. What up, Greg? D Rock Den. I gotta admit to a little bias because I do want black man collectives to work. I do want black man collectives to be productive without any hindrances. And one thing that I understand being a black man is that we do let a lot of things distract us from our purpose. And you know, a lot of people that shoot think that distraction is, you know, the guys, and this is the one I hear, and it's at the top of the list. The men in the black manosphere talk too much about women, and really, I don't think that's the case at all. Because one thing I understand now as a black person is that we have a tendency to take the things that take everything and we just pull out the things that we don't like and we put a highlight on them instead of putting on emphasis on the positives. And what I'm saying is, it's not that's that's not really the way to do things. You're supposed to focus on all of it. You're not supposed to focus on just the negatives, like you're not supposed to focus on just the positives. But if the negatives bother you that much, why don't we just work to change all of it? Why would we? Why wouldn't we want to do that as a sensible, constructive thinking people? Why wouldn't we want to do that? I mean, answer is this: we're a mess. But for a collective of black men to carry on the way that we carry on in this space, I think some self-reflection is necessary. Now, I could dish out all the criticisms like everybody else. First of all, there is weak to no leadership right now. Everybody is splintered off. The proclaimed leaders, look, I have nothing against people doing their own thing and trying to get to the bag. I have nothing against that. But for some reason, we're always looking for people to lead us into the, and one thing we don't realize in many of these situations is we have the ability to do all of that ourselves. We can become the central piece in the change that we want. We can, and that's very possible. But you know what our fucking problem is? Our problem is that we're lazy. We're fucking lazy. At least not, lazy in the sense of, what we do for other people and for other groups. Not lazy in the sense of, we're willing to get out there and work and bust our asses to get to the bag and get to the next level in whatever we're doing at the time. I mean, we are lazy on ourselves. In fact, we don't even think we're worth it. And, I'm not going to lie to you. In fact, I named this channel Black Men Being Brutally Honest. It's like, I'm disappointed right now. Now, as a fact of, who am I to judge? I mean, seriously. Everyone is literally judging right now. That's one thing some wise older people told me because, I still have respect for my elders. Some of you new guys, you new gals, that's not present within you, and that's going to hurt you one day, and it's going to hurt you real bad. But, don't let me tell it to you. You need to learn that stuff for yourself. I had older people tell me, basically, that everybody judges, no matter what. You're always judging someone or something, whether you want want to admit it or not. And it may not seem like judging to you, but it's definitely judging. I mean, with this whole sense of self righteousness that all of us have, and we give ourselves as a people a stellar review, but then we turn around and we think we can just look at other people and be shitty about it, and it has no consequence, no pushback, nothing. Now, when I say stuff like we're the only group of people that think that uh, we can't push back during discussion, I do mean black people, but I really only deal with black people. ADOS, foundational, whatever you want to call it, black. I only deal with us. I don't hang out with white people. Well, not anymore. I mean, not to say that I won't do it again, but it's just that shit. It's just like anybody else. I became immersed in family life. I don't get to see people like that very often, and I'm not rushing to it either. Hell, shit. A lot of the friends I had, that were black. Shit, I can't find some of them. But that's just it. That's just it. I have this thing about wanting a better community. So my daughter can at least see some good. But I don't know if that's gonna happen. If what's happening right now is reflects what's going on out here or what will happen out here. Because a lot of y'all don't believe that media does influence. It does. I'm not saying that your freedom of speech should be ripped. I'm not saying that at all. I think that I believe that we should cut loose and tell everybody how we feel. I want to know how many white people actually use the N word when I look at them. I don't really, like I said, there's a consequence for everything, but I just wish I'm one of those people that want to know the truth about folks. Not that, not me, at least basic stuff so I can, not get fucked over by dealing with that person in that sense. I don't want to know all your business. That's between you and whatever. But it's just that everybody judges everybody, and everyone puts themselves in this big ass position to judge. Now, this is not defending someone like some people out there thinking. Because quite frankly, like at the end of the day, the space has been heavily anywhere from heavily criticized to insulted on a daily fucking basis. And what I'm saying is that shit is wrong. That shit is poop. But it ain't like that the people on the inside of the space, at least some of them, are really doing anything to make it better. Shit. And I myself, time and time again, not that anyone is supposed to care, has really tried to, ride for this space. But it's like, I don't know. I can't control everything. Even if I could, I will still let people make their own decisions. That would probably be the only thing that I would do if I can control everything. I would let everybody just go free. No, not like anarchy or anything, but just let common sense take over and just see what happens. That kind of thing. Almost a strange form of Darwinism, but man, shit. But all this one acting like they're bigger than the other, that shit is whack. That shit is horrible. Sean Perry, what's going on? Casual Observer, what's going on? I see you in Rogers panels and chats a lot, so thanks for stopping by. Black men need an open and overt confession from white supremacists to understand white supremacists. LOL. Even then, that's not enough. No. What that'll be all well and good. I mean, but at the end of the day, how does it make it better for us as a people? how is that productive for us? I mean, you like for a lot of you swirlers and divestors out there, you'll definitely get the truth about Zaddy. And for the brothers who like calling the white woman their savior, you'll get the truth about them too. you know. But I'm no dick policeman. Yeah, I will say this, and here, since this is what everybody is doing, I will say here's my criticisms of the space, and it depends on who you consider to be a part of the space, because a lot of people have different ideas on who and what the space is. But the thing that I would say is consistent is the people who are watching. If you got pretty much the same people in all of your chats, you're part of the space. Yeah. Here's my criticisms about the local space. And here's the thing. I know criticism, trying to tell men, black men in particular, criticism, the knee-jerk reaction can be much harsher than when it comes from females. Females will kind of be like, then go into their little diatribe of insults. With us, it's immediate. Here's my two criticisms of the space. Number one, and y'all can, and anybody that's gonna watch and view later can take this how they want to take it. There's too much HNIC complex. There are too many guys that believe that they are the answer. I don't believe I'm the answer, and I'm pretty darn good at what I do. So I will consider. But damn, that I believe that's why there's a lot of butting of heads, so to speak. Everyone believes that their narrative is smarter, better, more dominant. Casual observer. I am not new, man. I used to listen to you in the clouds. This was before switching to Mondays. Oh, okay. When I was on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Oh, okay. Well, all right. Well, I apologize. Shoot, but great to have you again. Casual observer. But yeah. It's too many guys think that their ideas are better than others instead of it being a collective of ideas. Which brings me to my next point. The only other complaint I have about the space is fortification. Fortification. And this is a societal problem. I don't believe that it's on the space of black men to show anybody how to do this, because many of us are obviously making the choice not to. And we can't hold your hand, because people act like that black men have to extend their hands out and grab you and show you how to do this shit. Vis-a-vis save the community. Why would I use vis-a-vis? I was watching The Matrix. Oh, I might catch it for that. But we're supposed to save the community, but it's so much pushback, and then on top of the pushback is so much infighting from black men. So a person like me who tries to operate on a little common sense, I become very disappointed when I see this crap. I truly am. I become very disappointed because I'm the kind of guy that expects men to be men, to act like men, to carry ourselves as men. And one way that I believe, not everyone believes this, is that we are the level heads in the room. Be firm, be assertive, but keep a level head. Some of us ain't keeping a level head. Some of us are going off the fucking rip. And like I said a couple nights ago, if you did it in a way that was a bit calmer and not so fucking aggressive, I don't think people have a problem with listening, but they still can feel free to disagree. Now, I do admit that I need somewhat of an education on what the space is actually for. I understand it's a place to give black men a voice. I do understand that. But what exactly are we trying to fix, if anything? Are we trying to fix the black relationship? because it seems like almost everyone is trying to do that. Are we trying to gain some political muscle, perhaps, so black men can take a foothold in our communities? Because according to a lot of the feedback I saw in these chats, a lot of you, and I'm not saying that this you count for the greater society or whatever, but you are reflecting of some views. Y'all don't want a community. You want this shit gone. You want the Western American black community gone. Burn it down. Maybe you'll rebuild into something better one day. Maybe a phoenix will rise from the ashes. This is what a lot of you have expressed. But the people expressing this kind of sentiment is also attacking the people who want the opposite. They want this community. They want things to work. And they haven't given up hope. Because, I mean, it might be just romanticizing what we were always given ever since we were brought over here. No shits. That we are united by some type of deep struggle. And the fact of the matter is, because of that, we should be looking at each other first to be go-tos. Male and female, man and woman. But no, instead, y'all, some of you want this motherfucker to burn down. Yeah. That would probably be easier to say if I was a single man and I didn't have offspring. And by the way, I have to confess, I don't give a damn about a pill. Seriously. I think y'all use that pill shit just to hide behind the fact of who you really are. Some of you. Others of you, you actually treat it like a philosophy. But I know who you are. At least till she becomes an adult. Seriously. We can hang on that long as what's left of this community. Now, I mean, like, if you're, and I've never had a problem telling young men, like, that are single to go chase your paper, to make you the best you that you can possibly be. You know, don't take rougher paths like, you know, guys like me. Do it when you're very young. Because, see, all that fickle, superficial shit, worry about that later. It'll all be there when you become successful. Now, there was someone that was in one of the chats that I saw today, because I mean, I tune in to quite a few broadcasts. I ain't gonna lie to you, I was disappointed in a lot of those sentiments, but those guys had a right to make those calls. Seriously. But, I don't know, it was just a lot. And here's one thing that I did observe. Sheed, what's going on? Sheed, we here. Let me see something real quick. Give you a wrench. I don't think I've given you a wrench. Hold on one second. Oh, you do have a wrench. Shit. Okay. Never mind then. Shoot. I saw a lot of, I would say, Pookie defense today. And this was in all of the broadcasts I watched. And I did make comments in some of those chats. So people might think that I'm talking about them. And my only answer to that is feel free. I mean, I will stand on what I say. And I will not backpedal. If you confront me about it, what the fuck am I going to do? Lie? Shit. You can check out the replay. But there was a lot of Pookie defense. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to treat Pookie like a literal fucking character. So, here we go. So, this is the man right here that everyone was defending today. Because, I mean, like, this is a guy who's actually named Pookie. Now, whether you believe I'm joking or not, that's a possibility. But I'm sitting up there seriously like, this is the man who y'all talking about? This is the guy who you're defending? This guy right here? This guy. And then it became one of those situations. It's like, what the fuck is wrong with y'all? And then like literally, I knew what they meant, you know. And it's like some of these guys were actually claiming like they could more relate to a Pookie than anything. It's like, how about be your own person? You know what I'm saying? It's like all this Pookie shit, and I think I said this last night. All this Pookie and this educated lame shit is just a competition for who can fuck the baddest bitches. That's the only reason why it's going on right now. Oh yeah, some social dominance. It's social dominance is who can get the most ladies, and I said only reason. Shit, fuck. But anyway, um, look, it's social dominance that you know. I can only speak from the other side, and I'm not gonna call it lame because I believe that's an insult. But I guess they look at Pookie the same way. So I get it. But, you know, I ain't no motherfucking lame. I just know I'm not a Pookie either. But if I were to argue on the side of the lames, because you know, who wants to argue on the side of the lame? Seriously. If I can argue that, I can always say that the Pookies are always the one that fuck with the lames. I mean, okay, all right. The guy with the pipe in the background, Chris Rock, is the Pookie. The guy that is looking at the, you know, just looking. That's John Amos. That's John Amos. That was kind of a sarcastic dig right there. Like I like using that John Amos photo just to, you know. But pay attention to Chris Rock. Yeah, but yeah, I kind of thought about not putting John Amos in that pic and just putting the slide up there, but you know, yeah, but you're absolutely correct. That's Uncle James. Well, James. Yeah, but what's going on, Anthony Drosos? Yeah, but I don't see the relatability in relating yourself to this Pookie guy, the guy smoking the pipe. Oh yeah, I forgot. Oh yeah, just because you believe that, you know, just because it's Pookie or whatever, you believe that he, like I said, it's a competition for sex. Y'all believe that these quote unquote Pookies, these quote unquote Pookies, are the one that's getting all the women that are like this. And I mean, like for a country with how many people are in this country? Like 200 and like 100, like 200 million or something like that. I don't know. I may be totally off, but I'm sure it's like 330 million. Yeah, there's like 330 million people in the United States. You believe that the only guys that are getting women like this are Pookies. So that's why everybody would rather relate to the Pookie than to the lame. Now, I was gonna do like a actual literal lame pick, of what my first definition of lame was a person who couldn't walk out of without assistance. Tiny Tim out of A Christmas Carol was lame. You know, the kid that died because he didn't get the proper medicine or whatever. The plot hole. I'll talk about that some other time. But that was my first definition of lame. You know, lame is just somebody who I guess is not cool. It's like the antithesis of cool. Yeah. Lee Oli, what's going on? Pookie gonna get right. Just a few more hits off the pipe. He'll get around to it. Let's go, Pookie. All right. Bjuro454, what's going on? I've seen it in college, Kev. Seen it college in okay. Chicks who are 8+ getting with Pookies and hood niggas, LOL. But you know, I always viewed that as something that I could not control. I mean, it bothered me for a really first part of the phase because these girls were expressing this. They were expressing that. Oh yeah, and Gilgamy, thank you for the super chat. Says salute, long live the habitual line steppers, long live. Yeah, but my only thing was like I have to get myself to a point where I could actually compete with that. And the one thing that I did learn was I had wit and a sense of humor. And that's one thing that they, and when I say they, I mean the Pookie type characters or the guys who relate to Pookie did not like. They didn't like snappy comebacks. Prepper 101, what's going on? Yeah, that's a line from life. You thinking about my cornbread? Better get the taste out of your mouth. That's for damn sure. Yeah, I said that's what I'm saying. I guess that's why the Pookie types aspire to be the Pookie types because they're getting all of the women, so to speak. And I got to admit from observing, and these aren't even like I would say they weren't even Pookies. This is what my understanding of what you guys call Pookie. This is my understanding. Pookie is the one that's sleeping with all the women. But when I think about all of the life situations that I was in, including, school 10 years and such, yeah, that was kind of true for a period. And it's until these girls became baby mamas. Then Pookie became the baby daddy, and that was some shit. And you know what? For all the snatch that these guys were getting, I would not have traded my situation for theirs any day of the fucking week because they came with so much drama and so much BS, and one very important variable: child support. Them niggas came with child support. Shoot, why in the fucking world would I ever want to be that? I mean, the denominator is black man. So gotta have, some camaraderie, some sense of self when you look at these brothers. I'm not just here to just talk about dudes like a lot of these broadcasts. And that's another thing. This talking about dudes thing that most of y'all do from broadcast to broadcast is like, I'm just like, I used to comment in those chats, but I was just like, it's a waste of time because there's always some old turd that wants to engage and, start calling you names and, use their gay imaginations to insult you. And it just becomes cumbersome. I'm just, ugh. Yeah, those conversations have multiplied. And it's like, and like I was saying earlier, if you give any kind of pushback or any kind of disagreement, they want to snap at you. They want to act like that you're just trying to take their world from them or whatever. And this usually quickly happens with the guys. Usually quickly, like it'll be some spastic reaction. Yeah. I mean, few people have done that over here, but I'm never spastic. I always try to explain why the fuck you're wrong at least, but it's not going to be, hey, fuck you, man, god damn it. There's no point to that. Period. I mean, some of you believe that there is a point to it though, but like, man, like now in the chat, for those of you typing it out, those of you who feel like typing it out, what do you, and this is no criticism, this is just me asking a question. What would you, if you were watching a panel broadcast within the space, what would you get out of a shouting match? As an observer, what would you get out of a shouting match? Be it positive or negative? I mean, I'm not going to criticize the positive, just like I'm not going to big up the negative. Just all answers are acceptable. I kind of made a vow to myself after one shouting match I had, and this was about 2 years ago, and I believe that footage is gone because that channel was deleted. I mean, I just vowed to myself that it was just no point. There's no point in having shouting back and forth if someone was not willing to have a decent conversation. Then, you know, If someone's willing to have a decent conversation, I'll be willing to do that. But if someone gonna disrespect me, it's just like I would rather that person be 2 feet in front of me instead of on a Wi-Fi connection where I can't do shit. Not like that. I'm trying like tough guy talk or anything, but it's a matter of respect. I understand that people are gonna get heated. They're gonna get really passionate about what they're trying to say, but all that yelling, fuck you, nigga, no, fuck you, and then they start insulting your family and going at your kids, and it's just, no, I ain't got time for all that. I'd rather not be a part of that. I mean, seriously, I mean, yeah, but Soul Provider, what's going on? He said nothing but a version of live action Boondocks come to life. Yeah, what you talking about, the nigga moment? And then Ox Shahid Khalid. Okay, please forgive me if I didn't pronounce that correct, and I know I didn't. He says it's not good at all and sad to see. Okay. Yeah, it is. I'm not really going to, like I said, if that is getting them views and super chats, can't really knock the hustle. And cash apps can't knock the hustle. But people will pay for that kind of TV. But it's just not me. And if that's gonna if that's gonna make me a boring guy to watch, then shoot, I'll just have to find other ways to make things interesting. You know, shoot. Oh, hybrid catastrophic impact X83rd power. What's going on? What is up, Greg? He said within arm's reach. Yeah, 2 feet in front of me, man. Like seriously, like I don't want to talk all this shit to somebody. Like I'm gonna fuck you up. I'm gonna kick you in your nuts. I'm gonna do this to you. I'm gonna do that. There's no point because I can't do it. It's like shit. And then like, I could catch a flight, but I just see that as a waste of money for something like that. For something that you don't know what the person on the other side even got planned or what they're in possession of. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, common sense, not stupid shit. Now if they stayed within the city, that would be a different story. I actually had a case like that, but can't prove those kind of things. Toya son, hey, how are you? What's going on? Good to see you. Anthony Drosos. There was an old BET joke where every hood had a Pookie that got shot doing gangster shit. Okay, and they called him Pookie. Yeah, everybody, like, people were just like, man, we got to stop using that word Pookie. Like, damn. It's like they campaigning to end the word Pookie, but won't campaign to end the word nigga. Shit, I see what the TVA be talking about. I see what TVA, the village arsonists, be talking about. Shit, like we won't campaign for certain things, but we'll campaign for others. These motherfuckers want to end the word Pookie. Shit, sorry. That man said, nope, we holding Pookie accountable too. Yeah, this is what I don't get. They'll have all these conversations. They'll have all these discussions. They'll have all these complaint panels, and this is what it is. About they have all these about what dudes talk about, like us talking about women. But then when we talk about dudes, they'll complain about that shit too. They'll be talking about black men need to get it together. Black men need to learn how to take care of their kids. Black men need to stop killing each other. All stereotypical Pookie behaviors. And then when we start talking about this shit, and I mean, like, the go-to shouldn't always be, oh man, Pookie be fucking all the girls and getting them pregnant. No, that shouldn't. No, it shouldn't. Shit. Abe Griggs, what's going on? There is not many Pookies out there. It has to be terminated. Ooh. Yeah, I say you should watch Dennis Sperling in that case. Rogan's son, what's going on, man? What's going on? Good to see you. Mr. Sun is in the house. And Miss Sun. Lotus Scalper, Pookie versus Educated Lame. Hey, hey, Lotus Scalper. Yeah, tell me what you were saying earlier. Like, what, it was two things that you said was missing out of this space. And one of them was skills. What was the other one? I didn't remember that. But my argument for the skills part, and there was a Black Manosphere meetup, and they was seminars on how to get into real estate and how to get into IT. So I respect that attempt. Okay, so but if you're worried more about a consistency, then I can kind of get it. But like, not like I'm gonna tell you something, and I'm gonna tell you something. Nobody likes to watch broadcasts they're bored with, and that's why a lot of content creators, male and female, do what they do. So it's just what needs to happen among the audience themselves. If you want to, you know, if you want shit like that, you got to make a push for it, and you got to hold everybody accountable in that regard. Not just certain folks, but Rogish Son. Okay, that's he said most were whining about Pookie because they desired his chick. What was her value if she wanted Pookie? Exactly. Exactly. Like, if they want a man of questionable character, why are you even worried about her? Move on to the next. Shit, you might find somebody better looking. Maybe not as good looking as the one in the photo. I mean, but depending on your situation and who that person is, the likelihood that you might find somebody more tailored to you than instead of going after some just because she can make her ass cheeks hop every time she walk. I mean, shit. Rogan son. Now, a good question. Would it be if Pookie took educated lame chick? That would be quite different. Yeah, people would react like he was too lame. He wasn't hitting it right. That's how they would hitting it right. And actually, the Pookie would do the quote unquote educated lame a favor by letting him know who his girl really was. I mean, seriously. Shoot. Grown man business. Thanks for the super chat. Hashtag men first. Exactly. Said fellow Alabamian right there. I didn't want to say Bama boy because we men. Bama men. But Bama men, yeah, that sounds kind of funny. So I didn't want to go there, but I just want to well, I'll just move on from there. But thank you for the super chat. Appreciate it. Yeah. I mean, that's what it would be saying. That unfortunately is the fate of the educated lane. To have to take that L. I mean, what is the educated lame gonna do? He's gonna fight for that woman. Then they'll call him a simp. And like a lot of guys do spaz out and they end up fighting over these broads, and then somebody end up dead. That shit happens. So the educated lane, I know he's gonna be mad and emotional. It probably took a little while to get that girl. They thought they was in love and they was gonna get married and have kids and have a nice little honeymoon. But Pookie did you a favor. So don't be too hurt. So shout out to the honest truth. That's what happened to him. Pookie took his woman. The honest truth need to thank his like that dude for taking his girl. Like shit. Abe Grigg, my dad is from Anniston. I knew some people from Anniston. Yeah. All right. Akshahil Khalil. She'll stay with the educated lane but let Pookie hit. Yeah. Hey, that could happen. That could not. I mean, if granted that's the situation, yeah. Every time that man go to work to make that bread so he can pay all the bills, and they ain't even got to be married. Pooh could be in there tapping it, making it go quack 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 quack. Getting that mouth too. Shit. It's just shit. Shit sad, man. Shit sad. Hybrid catastrophic impact Ace 83rd power. I watched the clip of Moist Twatkin shaming men into being stepdaddies. Man, then ran my blood pressure to the sky. Yeah. I mean, I gave a couple days ago. I gave y'all an awful example of a stepdaddy. Old Nicki Minaj's brother. That man was stepdaddy all the way. Now he prison and probably forced to call someone else daddy. But he was the father that stepped up. Kareem, what's happening? Okay. AMS, BOA, and myself are all from Bama. All right, I'm from Montgomery, born and raised. Yep, the capital city. Yeah, we bowed it down there, especially in 2022, and it's bad, but still, that's my hometown. Yeah, but yeah. Anyway, it just they was talking about the Pookie educated lame conversation happened 2 or 3 years ago. You know, as I was listening to one of these broadcasts. And I mean, I get that, but you know, if the space is growing, you're gonna have many people that are just coming into the space, and when they hear these stories, and they're gonna be like, "Oh, I went through that too." God damn. Greg went to school in Skeggy. Yeah, I used to go to Skeggy for parties and such, and you know, we had the Turkey Day Classic down there. I think Bama State and Bama State and Tuskegee, they don't play the Turkey Day Classic anymore because you know they for years they were fighting over money and who gets more of the gate. And then when Bama State opened that stadium, then I think that the Bama State and Tuskegee stopped. Bunker TV, is there an educated Pookie lame? Wow, that's a great question. I think Bunker TV, put it up there. If there's an educated Pookie lane, educated Pookie lane, yeah. I'm not like for the archetype that's being expressed about Pookie. Like a lot of these things aren't up to me. I would say yeah. You know, there are guys who grew up in the streets but decided to straighten their lives up, and you know, like I said, I'm using Pookie in the context of how this space is putting it, not Chris Rock up here. But yeah, I would say there's a educated Pookie lane. I would say that, and it's not the Pookie and the educated lane doing the fusion dance. I believe that, you know, it is not like not like the whole jailhouse education is basically someone who grew up in the streets, was into that shit. Like grown man business said, we are all men, stop falling for the subtitles. Believe he's expressing that all of these basically are not good at all. Calling educated lanes Pookies, like it's I get where he's coming from, it really is causing separation. Like I would probably not agree with Dennis Sperling when he says all the Pookies gotta die. And this is coming, and I understand it's coming from a place of a man with sons, because you know he's a person that is felt like he's worked too hard to provide for his sons, and he doesn't want anything that'll put his sons in harm's way. My thing is like I'm a father as well, but to a daughter, and I understand that people feel a certain way about dads with daughters in this space. I don't get it, because it's like I would really like dare anybody to try to remove me for having a kid. But my thing is, if you're strong enough as a dad, and that's anybody who's a dad. If you're strong enough as a dad and you have the wherewithal to raise your kid right, you ain't got nothing to worry about. You ain't got to call for death. Just like we a lot of us get upset because what's the name, old bird brain, Cynthia G, trying to sit up there and say abort all black male babies, and that shit really ain't gonna ever happen because that's stupid, and it's not up to her. It's not that's something like that is not up to Dennis Sperling either. I mean, I would never ever call for the deaths of black men. That is one of my main talking points when uh, I would never ever, like one of my main talking points is black women calling black men bullet bags, saying that we should be killed by the police. Like shit, I would never ever call for the deaths of black men, unless of course, like I don't care about, people who harm children. I definitely don't care about them. Outside of that, uh, uh yeah, there's some opinions too. He said Dennis was just joking. The Bunker TV, I have the dreaded Manosphere 3 strikes. Oh boy, I wonder what happened. Maybe we can talk about it one day. I got a pretty open platform. I understand that. I mean, even though I'm considered a part of the Black Manosphere, I'm pretty open to people. Coming to the platform. I'm not gonna try to play this political game because, like I said, it's not fortified enough for me to play a political game. Period. Is not, and I wouldn't do that anyway. So, shoot, you don't have 3 strikes with me, guy. You don't have it. So, yeah. So, grown man business. Dennis Sperling is a want-to-be Pookie rapper who begs for cash apps and PayPals. He also searched for a wife of KS Facebook page. Get the fuck out of here. Okay, and Ak Shahil Kali. Oh God, I hope I'm not messing up your name because you're gonna probably plot for revenge one day. He said it's offensive even to us who used to be in the streets. The stereotypes don't fit everyone from that background. Absolutely. I did say one time in a broadcast a long time ago that my problem was never hood niggas. My problem was fuck boys. So, I think that's pretty much many of us. Rogish. Pookie was always considered a statistic. Have we forgot the black law on those? Must we travel back in the day and shift specific blames off of him? Not really. I mean, not. No, I understand what you're saying. Hybrid catastrophic impact X83rd power. For the life of me, I don't understand why Cynthia G isn't getting castigated for saying delete all black male babies. Because let me tell you why. Number one, some guys just want to prove that they can put up with anything. Some guys they just want to prove that they can put up with anything and everything. That they got a steel chest, that they can take it, and really seriously, to an extent, you shouldn't let things like that get to you. I mean, and yeah, there have been plenty of videos made about that very thing. But like as far as the Black Manosphere Collective, I haven't seen a full campaign from anyone yet. And it's I don't believe that it would happen either. There's plenty of guys within the space. There's plenty of guys within chats that are saying it. So there are people saying it. But what would need to happen in order for any of that to have some kind of tangible impact? I don't believe I don't believe we have the mentality. I think that we would go at it emotionally, and them bitches wouldn't care anyway. It's like Ty City said, they don't care. No, they don't care. Hmm. Oh, the Bunker TV is that number one married, number two with children, number three a pook. Oh God. That said married with children and a pookie. Yeah, and grown man business. Absolutely, that is the one thing that we have to like. We as black men, we understand that if we're gonna come on a platform like YouTube, we can pretty much say what we want on certain things, but other things we got to tiptoe if we want our channel to survive. Can you imagine uh, a can you imagine a male YouTuber, and this has probably been said several times already, that called for the abortions of black female babies? Once you find out they're female, go ahead and abort them. He would take over that spot that was usually filled by people like Tommy Sotomayor and right now KS. He'll be the black woman hater, the biggest misogynist. We need to take this guy down. So grown man business, you're absolutely correct. Yeah, they would delete the fuck out of that channel. And due to get ostracized, it'll be all on the root. It'll be on Very Smart Brothers. Boyce Watkins will talk about that shit. Shit, you'll have Nicole Young. I told you about the Black Manosphere. I told you, every one of them motherfuckers. Shoot. Ox says, we have a lot of talent here, but people going outside they lane. KS is good at cologne and paying for veg. Denise can help with legal things. Angry Man and BGS bring the politics. Yes. Well, paying for VAT. Well, you might be talking about that time that he was talking about, transactional experiences, and then Abba and Preach reinforced that. So, people take things different ways. Where is the consistency with skills and abilities? Lotus Scalper, I'm not saying this is an excuse, but those broadcasts aren't popular. They're not. They're not. And what skills and abilities are you seeking? Or are you saying that on behalf of younger people? Because, see, here's the thing. A lot of people that come to this platform already got shit in place. Some, like I said earlier, some people come here for a lot of people come here for the drama. And I get it. This space needs to be more productive. But, okay, so, but I will say this to you. That kind of what was the Manosphere meetup was about. People focused on the negative. Like, they focus on how the dudes look. Like, I have no interest in shitting on a guy for the way he looks. Look, I'm hetero. I don't have any interest in that. Unless the dude pisses me off, of course. Then it's open season. But I mean, they were having skill sessions there. I'm not saying that you have to go to the meetup, and I do understand when we came back to this platform, a lot of the content that people do take in is reflecting of none of that. He said, no one is asking why is a grown heterosexual man is doing in a room full of barbs. He said, what is he doing there in the first place? Wow. That is like, you know what? Somebody else might have said that, but I probably wasn't paying that much attention. But yeah, that is kind of curious. Like, I wouldn't have been there. Or maybe maybe he likes to watch black women speak, or and then this is everybody's gonna be like, oh my god, here it comes. Like, in order for him to make his platform better and sharper or whatever, maybe he studies women. But still, that's kind of strange. Yeah, I got it. It's kind of strange. Oh shit. Oh man. Shit, I don't know. I just probably try to pick up pointers. But everybody like KS punted. He punted. He didn't stand on his principles. That's the widespread opinion. Kevin's clients are women, so he travels in those spaces, I guess. Yeah, that was what I was kind of alluding to. It's, you know, let's face it, man. There's a lot of people that do think that KS is, so they would ask questions like that. You know, but that I would probably say that maybe he's studying females so he can become better at what he does. I mean, when you when you fancy yourself an image consultant, he's not saying image consultant for men. Like, you know, but however, I'm not here to change anybody's mind about what they may be thinking. Yeah, so let me see. What else do I have on here? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I just put that up there for a while. I don't know, man. I just had these thoughts about this. But yeah, what I'm observing is really becoming a dumpster fire. It really like just what like we shouldn't we shouldn't be like I said, I expect men to be men at the end of the day. It's not all about what I think. It's not about my whole golden vision for what I believe the space should be. But at the end of the day, we should be more rational than the opposition, whomever you consider the opposition to be. Because being more rational, you can always win, especially if you're factual. Ox says women spend more. Yep, women spend a lot more. Why do you think Goldman Sachs is giving them that $10 billion? Grown man business, I am not disagreeing with you. He said, let's not play games. She shat on all his talking points to his face. Most of your popular YouTubers, people integrity is for sale. Yeah, yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. Not arguing that at all. I mean, but maybe he was starstruck. Not like I said, not making excuses. Not saying that it's not the worst case scenario, which is backing down is the worst case scenario. I mean, but shit, starstruck. I would say. I mean, what if what if Nikki showed up here? What would I do? I was thinking about that shit before I said I would say it. Like what would me and Nikki would even have to talk about? Like almost nothing. Like I would have a choice but to be brutally honest with her. Shit. Like first thing I noticed on you was your bootay. Like shit. That'll be about it. Yeah, but yeah, a lot of people are saying that he sold his principle. He should have stood on his square. He should have stood giving her a nine, giving her a nine. Like when I asked people what the other night what you they thought her rating was, I think the lowest score I got was 5. Someone said 5.5. Someone else said 6. Someone else said 8.529. So that was very interesting to say the least. Greg said you will all be starstruck, of course. Yeah. But they said that he's supposed to be in a video with Future. Or supposed to be doing an interview with Future or something like that. I don't know how true that is, but if anybody can confirm it for me in the chat, let me know. He's supposed to be involved in something with Future, the guy with the 8-9 baby mamas. Hybrid catastrophic impact X83 power. You wouldn't talk to her about global warming? Uh, yeah, I would talk to her about global warming. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The importance of not using aerosol cans. The Barker TV. I think from his perspective, he won. Shitload of publicity. I mean, you got Entertainment Tonight covering it. Like shit. I mean, he might have won. He might got people calling him right now, saying you need to do this, you need to do that. We don't know. Maybe he's taking a breather. Who knows? Greg, and I see you question Lotus Scalper. I agree with BGS's assessment of the situation. Who cares how the rock gets rolled as long as it gets rolled? Okay. Lotus Scalper. So, Kev, the leader of this space or not? Uh, I didn't know this space had a leader. Because I hear a lot of people, and I'm going to tell you the truth, a lot of people say Angry Man should be it. There's some people that say Obsidian pioneered the space or whatever, so he should be. I ain't gonna lie. They just say Obsidian just kind of moved the space forward. A lot of people christened. A lot of people christened Kevin Samuels the leader, and that to me that was just kind of on some like some petty shit. Zach, I'll drop the link in a second. Is I don't believe per se that the space has a leader. I'm a strong, firm believer in y'all niggas need to learn how to lead yourselves. So, uh, hybrid catastrophic impact X83rd power. You say I hear people say O'Shea is the leader. Yeah, like I said, I hear a lot of people saying a lot of folks are leader. Bonker TV. He did need a viral Nikki moment. He needed to show he could be cordial to women and not always on the attack. RPM, yes, I said 5.5. Yep, but you weren't the lowest. Yeah, somebody actually did 5. And, and let me see, Barker TV. Well, wait a minute. No, I want to go back up to grown man business. Said fake body with a baby by a grape is yet a solid 2, but black men standards are at. Yeah, like Officer Faulkner says, we're the garbage men. We take everybody's leftovers. Man, look. And look, man, some of the chicks these dudes be hitting, man, like I ain't even talking about like some like fat white women. I'm talking about like within. I mean, shit. Yeah. So that's accurate. Hybrid catastrophic impact X83rd power. This is not a cult. Ain't no leader. And I even understand why Lotus Scapper might have implied something like that. Um, because there's a lot of KS followers. Like I would say this, he's definitely the biggest channel. If that means anything, and you know, I would never have used KS as a heavy for my narratives or the shit that I say, but I understand that a lot of and there's been panelists that's been here before that would bring up KS quite often, and and I have to say sometimes that's not fair to the content creator. So Zach, if you're still there, I'll drop this link. Now, if of course Zach asked for the link, but if y'all want to come up here and chop it up for a second, sure. The Bunker TV, I would have gave her a 6. That's money and fame included in the score. Yeah. Said many are entertaining, but they don't practice what they speak. It's more about entertainment than evidence. For example, most who talk about relationships haven't been a successful long-term one. Hmm. Hmm. That's interesting. Now, I will say this. A lot of guys who do discuss the relationship stuff have often run into misfortune with it. So, that can be said. But then again, is the along with that is also a popular topic. So that's why I mean a lot of people do focus on their relationship stuff because it's a popular topic and it gets views. Especially if you're somewhat passionate about it. Wagner Franklin. Here's what's gonna happen to you, Wagner Franklin. That. Okay, let's see. Well, if Kev isn't the leader, he's not above. He is not above. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. I never said he didn't deserve criticism. I never said that at all. I'm not one of those people, and I do like one thing. You do have to understand that the man does have fans. I mean, he does have fans. He has fan guys. Some would even call fan boys. But the thing is, he has a lot of female fans too. I mean, that's just what it is. And you're right. And you're right. He's not above fair criticism, and that's the gripe. People saying that they're getting attacked. That people say they're getting attacked for like criticizing. I mean, if you're okay, I'll put it to you like this: if you're criticizing him based on what happened, then that's fair. I mean, no one is above criticism. But if you're calling them kitten heels and gay and all that stuff, shit without evidence, man, then you might be, then you might be slipping into that hater territory. But yeah, fair criticism, he's not above. Absolutely. Shoot. In fact, I'm not above criticism. Like I've had a few people show up here and criticize me and what I was saying, and they weren't very easy about it, you know. But I didn't feel like I was above it, so I get that. No, you're right. No one is. Not him. Not anyone. Greg said the name of Future's video is called "Worst Behavior." But I mean, shit. This pot, like I said the other night, this podcasting thing is becoming very popular. Like and it's going to become more popular. And if you plan on continuing it, if it's something you just like to do as far as a hobby, yeah, then continue to do your thing. If you are happy and content with whatever, then that's great. If you just come here to talk to like-minded men, and maybe we can get some productivity out of it, that's great too. But they're watching. The eyes are on us. What's your take on Joe Rogan brutal? Now, I heard Joe Rogan apologize. I don't know much about the situation, but I heard he used the N word quite a bit. It depends on how you feel about the N word. I don't like white dudes using it. I don't. So I could care less, really. But if it's an issue of freedom of speech, then I'm never for removing someone's freedom of speech. But it's just white boy can handle himself. Great, but Kevin do got some haters because he's chosen by the mainstream anointed, and the haters were not. Yeah, man, you finna start, you finna start a fire, because like that's what, because I made that post in the community tab, and my whole point of making that post was a celebrity showed up, and celebrities are showing up for this man, and it seems like there is some jealousy out there, and I got pushback for it. I don't. I mean, I don't care if, and I recommend that to anybody watching or anybody that's gonna watch the replay. If I say something that you disagree with, feel free to tell me. It is. You disrespect me, I might go into a little just bit of troll mode and may say something fucked up. but I mean, not likely. But just I mean, we can all respectfully disagree. But yeah, he got some haters. He got some people that are intensely upset. Like one of them broadcasts, man. There was a man. In fact, I can actually mention this content creator, Tough Talk TV. Like they were letting people up, and a couple people were threatening Kevin Samuels. They were threatening him. They're like, I better not ever see that nigga around here. I'm like, huh? You gonna issue a threat? Is it that serious? It's like MC Hammer said. You go on you make it to superstardom. You go in your neighborhood with your new car. You go in to say hi to your mama. You might come back. A couple tires might be flat. Did that man really hit that level like that? Come on now. That man was receiving threats. Dudes were threatening him. I'm like, hell no. I wouldn't go that far. I mean, I was, as far as I would go is disagreement. Come on. Bunker TV, I'm working with NYCHA to create a podcast tutorial program, trying to offset the gang shit for the little homies. Good. Good luck with it, man. Good luck with it. Yeah. Like, everybody ain't got to show their hand in order for you to be satisfied with them because we have a problem called moving the goalposts. like if we don't like somebody, it ain't gonna matter what that person does, you know. But it's pretty good, Bunker TV, man. I applaud that effort, man. I really do. It looked like you on some real shit, man. Cause I mean, I don't know what the gang problem is in NYC, but we got a real huge problem in Montgomery, man. And one of the things that I do, like, there are programs that are reaching out to some of those neighborhoods, but they make it so fucking difficult. Shit, people be afraid for their lives. But by all means, man, like I said, I commend you on the effort, man. For real. I heard that about him. I heard that about KS. I heard that he's a trained martial artist. I mean, don't quote me on that. I mean, if it's true, it's true, man. You know, like I said, no matter how much you may try to, I don't know, hate on someone, you never truly know everything about that person. Because like, well, I've said things to ruffle people's feathers. I mean, granted, on Facebook, I mean, there's not a whole huge intensity level here. I try to remain calm and professional because I don't want to be an embarrassment to my family or anything. But I've said things that ruffle people's feathers, and because of the fact I got gray in my beard, people like to act like I got one foot in the grave. So, like, oh God, old man, you need to go to bed and take your Geritol, old man, old man, old man. I was like, I'm not even 50 yet. What the fuck? Hell, you old, you look old. Like that, like I said, goalposts. It's like they'll carry it there. So, I mean, depending on whether you want to. Oh, Greg said he said it. Oh, okay. So he said this out his mouth that he has like 5 black belts. I heard he was like, I heard it was MMA. That's what I first heard of it. I heard it was MMA. He does MMA training. But then when you try to tell somebody that don't exactly like the guy, then they was like, yeah, and I bet you he chopped the tree down with one swipe too. Is it okay? Let me see. Hybrid catastrophic impact X83rd power. He said at least some of the things black men have been thinking, but couldn't say is getting to the mainstream. Yeah, man. I mean, especially when they're remaking The Color Purple. I mean, like they already like a lot of these girls that's on my social media are already like, oh my God, they're remaking my favorite movie. Yeah, that is my favorite. I'm like, how the fuck is that your favorite movie? That film was disgusting. Shit, but like I tell you, they doubling and tripling their efforts now. Cortez Smith, I don't understand how they made being old a thing to diss about. Cause we'll diss each other for any little thing. We have a discount way of looking at our own people. Like I said, it's like they look at they look at everybody else like they're Bloomingdale's and Macy's, and then our own and they look at our own people. Our people look at our own people like we're Walmart. You know, being old, they just black people in large, we disrespect our elders. We do. We don't think about the fact that that is somebody's older uncle or grandmother or grandfather or anything like that. And we have all, I'm sure, have older relatives in our family if family's your thing, because of course a lot of you want the community to go away, but we don't even think about that shit. And then when somebody disrespects ours, then we want to go off. We want to kill people. But that's bias right there. Anyway, that's family bias, and that's gonna exist. But just think about that. Would you want somebody to call your grandfather, your father, an old nigga? Granted that you know who those guys are. I mean, shit. And, I don't like to go with that father ain't there stereotype. We all know that there's a small percentage of dudes making all the babies. Mm. So the color propaganda. Camp Low, what's going on? Good to see you. Up in here. Hybrid catastrophic impact X83rd power. Thank goodness we have platforms to dispel the garbage propaganda set to be spread. Like I said, if there was a space like this that existed back in the 80s, granted that we had the access to the world that we have, then we could have pushed back on a lot of shit. Shit, The Color Purple probably not be recognized as one of the greatest black films of all time, because it is recognized as one of the greatest black films of all time. Oh, where is Edward? Oh yeah, it is. What's going on, Edward? Edward Anderson. Well, he got to get off mute. Or okay, he'll speak soon enough.
All right.
Yeah, I can
No,
hear you. I can hear
it's
you.
been.
What's going
Sorry,
on,
sorry
man?
about that. I got a lot of shit going on right now. Give me one second. Give me one second. All right. My bad. I was listening. Kevin Samuels in the background. It's been minutes since I actually watched this show, but I was like,
Oh,
all
oh,
right.
okay. Okay, is he addressing the shit?
I mean, yeah, probably. Yeah, he's talking about like last time I checked, like literally as I was coming up here, he talking about I don't represent the extremes. There's extremes on both sides.
Mm.
Which, to be fair, is something Kevin has said before. Like my thing is, there's things he said in other interviews, but I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Like niggas are making it like this nigga got access to the nuclear football or some shit. Shit, like for real, man. So
Mm.
so anyway, I just want to come up here and say what's up because it's been a minute since I've been on yours or Roger stuff. So yeah, what's up, man? Yeah, because I was working on some stuff.
Okay, yeah, it's a lot of volatility in the space, man. I mean, I've checked out a lot, bro, and I don't usually spend that much time because I got a lot of stuff to do. But I was checking out a lot of broadcasts, and they're on this shit, man. Like one in particular had your name in the title, so I guess that
Yeah,
means
you talk
that
about Todd City.
uh, him too.
Well, I don't know who else would. I mean, you know, whatever, man. I mean, at this point, yeah, I don't like when people put my name in the title, because I ain't, when I search my name, in the incognito, that shit represents me, but that'll go away
Well,
soon
well,
enough.
well. Since this guy wasn't trying to hide, I'll go ahead and say who he was. David Johnson, the asshole. He put your name in the title, so I
I don't
believe it.
know why. Like he was on Bernard's thing earlier, and he would. I mean, you gotta do like. Here's the problem I have with this shit. you know, we have a lot of folks that have come in, let's say post Kevin Samuels really blowing up, the lead attorney. Some of these people had YouTube channels before. Like technically the lead attorney did, mediocre did, poor man did, but they have definitely benefited from COVID, from a lot of stuff, from the market of the niche. Because there is the space and there's the niche. Okay. We don't occupy a monopoly on male content, let alone or black male content, let alone male content, even in this space. So you got black YouTube. There's like a lot of kind of solar rings if I want to go there. I'm not gonna do
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah,
My
yeah.
point is when you look at the time you put in here, the time Roger puts in here, the time some others put in here. I mean, obviously people are doing this because they want not that's not the only reason, but people's time should be compensated. And I know people like black people, they believe black people, black men fundamentally have an you know what's sad? You know what's sad? Black men have a bigger belief that people should do shit for free than black women do.
Mm.
Like I'm not saying black women don't have that problem, but the truth is, you know, when you don't really hear when dudes are talking about people asking for something for free, that's usually black men. And you see that reflected in this space as well. So one thing I've told people on my channel, if you keep saying it, you say it, I'm blocking you. I don't care who you are. Is if you say, oh well, so it's about the money now, not about the mission. And I'm like, where the fuck were you like 5 years ago?
Mm.
You know, you don't have you all don't have only a couple of people, handful of people have a right to really have that discussion with me. Like to the point where they can actually speak down to me and I don't automatically like dismiss that. It's only a handful of people. Not to say or and even maybe another extra handful of people I would consider peers as far as being here, putting content together and stuff like that. And that don't mean I won't say nothing back, but I'm just saying. So you got audience members. I'm like, if you feel that way, create a YouTube channel then. I've demonstrated you can create one from your phone. The technology is a lot better now than it was before to do that.
Man, I created my channel from my phone.
I mean, yeah. So I mean, the idea is if you got something to say, actually put it on the mud. But see, the problem is people want to do that loyal opposition crap. And so it's not. This isn't nothing new that I haven't said. The thing I'll bring here, this new word is I'm trying to grow. It's not about money. It's really now people don't want to believe that because and that's just how black people are going to be. But what it's really about is the more funds you have, the more cooler things you can do and the
Yeah.
more control over stuff I have, or control over things you can do. And I don't need a lot to do some really cool shit. I don't. Like you have things where, you know, unfortunately David Carroll passed, but you know, put some paper bag money on it to get him to do an hour. You know? Be like, look, man, I just want to hear what you guys say. I'm not gonna blow your spot up, you know, stuff like that. And there's things we can do like you know if you get to the point where I can do this full time I mean I'm making good money doing what I'm doing all the stuff that I'm doing because I do a variety of things but then I can you know put together more blog posts websites do stuff like that. I'm gonna eventually do that anyway but see people don't have the foresight to think about that. The only thing they want to think about is the real nigga credit card. And the reality is, you got dudes that are married. Like you all are not the only people that are represented. And the reality is, the truth is, people are mad that their version of nigga or black man is not represented. So it doesn't matter if it's Nikki. It doesn't matter what it's gonna be. Every time Kevin does something, people are going to have a problem with it, and it's different reasons why they do, but they just are. And yeah. And at this point, this is going. I'm gonna tell you right now. Unless Kevin does something that I think is worthy of really speaking on, you know, that's like controversial, I'm gonna start getting rid of people. I'm gonna be like that. This is the last time you gonna take up my space because I've devoted way too much time in the explaining shit that y'all are just gonna emotionally buy into anyway. So why am I wasting my time?
Mm. I mean, that would be fair to the content creators that do work hard to put their platforms together and to keep them going because this ain't easy. I mean, like even the StreamYard part is it's not easy to come up here and to
constantly speak and it takes effort. It takes effort and energy to do. So yeah, Greg, well, thank you for the super chat. He said this Pookie and Educated Lame stuff started with the Kevin and Nikki M live stream. I mean, well, this particular. What do you think of that, Edward? Like this whole.
I mean, it's always been there because
Yeah.
you got dudes I mean, this is part of the gynocracy. This is part of Highlander syndrome. This bullshit. It
Yeah.
really is. Because at the end of the day, the only reason why dudes are doing this is because niggas that don't look like them are getting a little bit too much attention and they can't deal with it. I don't give a fuck about people talking about people stealing people's content. That ain't what the core issue of it is. It ain't. It ain't. I mean, you got like literally like 10 or 15 people now really trying to act like Kevin is taking the majority of their shit. And it's like he can't take the majority of like 10, 15 different people. We already know we take a lot of what BGS say. We already know we take stuff that Obsidian says because they acknowledge it. And Obsidian gets his shout out, and BGS is cool with that. So it can't be that he's just like hodgepodge. It's like affinity stones that he done put the shit together and
Mm.
niggas are mad. Like it's like, Avengers Endgame, the beginning of it. Where
Yeah.
they were just, I mean, for real though. And I'm not even just talking about in this space. Like Jason Black has said that, Tommy has said that. And it's like, it's amazing looking on the outside, looking in after all the stuff I've talked about, seeing people just play out a lot of the stuff that I've said. But yeah, it kind of turned a little bit hot. And what's really going on is the difference between now, because I said on my channel, I'm staying out of it. But what I will say, the difference between now and back in the past is now you got like strong content creators. Like, I mean, they got numbers, they got backing, they got their own little orbits. Like, for take Lead Attorney first. Lead Attorney hasn't really said anything, but Lead Attorney has a whole crew of YouTubers trying to. I mean, he literally, that's what his Patreon is rotated around. And he's shown how much he makes doing that. And so he's got his own thing. You've got obviously Kevin. You've got Dennis Sperling, who's at 20, and then because he's a lawyer and he ain't really got nothing to hide. It ain't a lot of people out here that's gonna really own paper. Not to mention the dude is like huge, like six. He looks like I've seen people that I know at 6 feet, and he looks huge compared to them.
Yeah.
If because he showed some pictures of some celebrities that he was took pictures with.
Mm.
And these are people I know are like 6 foot, and he's towering over their ass. And he just showed that he can lift. He at 47, he can still do like 325 pretty easily, like 5 or 6 reps.
Yeah.
So I mean, he's not a weak dude, So you got dudes that now you can't create this Urkel, you know, educated lane. That doesn't work anymore because there's too many dudes. And then we're not even gonna mention Glenn and Cameron, who has been doing a lot of content talking about a lot of hood shit and the nerdy progressive black folks, and they're tired of that. And he's not even in the space, and he's doing that on his own. Because real talk, he did a video. It was some dude that made $1 million during the Emmett Till thing, and I saw that he got a really big boost in his channel, and he got like 4 or 5 thousand subscribers from that one video,
Mm.
and a lot of them are black. Now, if you search his name, what comes up is the underage thing, but which is unfortunate because had he not did that, he would probably be a lot more vocal in this stuff. And then you already know Anton, so you got it's different now. You got different people, so you can't just play the Urkel game anymore. And so
Yeah.
now people, it's like, what are you gonna do? And so they're doing stuff that's been educated lane, which by the way, that came from SWP.
Yeah. 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 I heard that.
Yeah, I remember. Like, so that's not even something. And I want to be fair about that because I don't want, but it's a different game now. It's more players in here than it was before. So the dynamics has changed. It's like in the NBA or like when you could run touchdowns back on a punt return before they changed the rule, which I was mad as fuck that they did that. But it's a different game and you got to adapt. And what I don't want to do is get to another year where I'm explaining stuff in the space and then I lose another year when I could have been focusing on building collabs, building networks with people outside of the space, expanding the audience for me, and then for people that, rock with me, you know, helping them out. Because I'm a rising tide raise those ships kind of guy. I want to be that guy as far as like me being kind of the center, not so much the center of the universe, but that I can help people build up. And that's reflective of what I've done, but a little bit more than just sharing people's videos. Cause so I got some interviews and stuff coming up, but people are wasting time doing this. And it's not just street dudes. I think Obsidian's being real provocative for no reason. And I think he's definitely fanning the flames unnecessarily. And because at the end of the day, they can't do nothing about what Kevin's doing. I mean, all the thing they can do is bitch, and you can put the mute button on them. But what Obsidian's kind of doing is basically going at them to kind of show the women, we're better men or something like that. And I'm like, I think that's a waste of time because you're still competing for that chick's favor.
Yeah. That's a blatant waste of time. Yeah, I heard about that, man. Is it as bad as people are making it out? Because they were making it like Obsidian and Dennis Furlan was trying to save old girl.
Save who?
Whoever.
Nicki Minaj.
No. I think her name is Sweet Life of Atari or something like that. She stepped on the panel with them two, and I don't know. I have to watch it.
I don't know I haven't watched that. I know she was calling him all sorts of gay, and he was just letting that go. Not on that stream, but on Jessica X's stream. But she was looking stupid, and he was kind of bobbing and weaving with it, kind of carrying on the conversation, but at the same time making her look like an idiot. And it was coming off like she was looking real dumb. If you could deal with that.
So
now I wouldn't have
Obsidian or Dennis Furlan?
No, Obsidian. I mean, Dennis ain't gonna let her do that. But that was on Jessica X's stuff. My thing is, these are just conversations. Like, dude, we've had them. Like this thing where dudes are like losing their minds. It's like these dudes were. This is social media. Kevin was not elected. That's social media. That could have just like when Kwame Brown was blowing up. Kwame Brown would have about 600-700 subscribers had he not. I mean, I get it. He's famous, so he's like, this is YouTube. Maybe if y'all would have been in his ear telling him to take it seriously, saying, man, we need you, we need representation. Maybe he would have gave a little bit more of a fuck. I was thinking about something where I was saying, like, when I look at some of the strategic, like, for instance, I'll give you an example. When Kevin, it was a situation where Angry Man and Tommy were talking shit about it. Like, Angry Man was on Tommy's stuff. And they were jumping on Kevin. And this is where, Tommy was kind of sniffing around in the space, wondering what elixir did Kevin Samuels drink in order to blow up like he did. Other than that, you get like a fuck about this, right? And I'm thinking, when I heard about this is a while ago, I'm heard about that. And there's history there. And I'm not even great, but whatever. I'm not even going to go on there. I'm thinking, what if he would have reached out to Kwame before O'Shea did? Because O'Shea critiqued Kwame saying, like, at the end of the day, man, you got great potential, but your stuff is kind of shit. Lack of a better term. That's what he kind of said. And he said, I say that with love. You can do a lot with this platform, but that's why you stuff. And then Kwame kind of reached back saying, let's have a conversation. And we don't know what's going to happen with that. But see, Angry Man, I think, is a little bit more in alignment with Kwame, and that could have definitely helped. Because I've seen him, Kwame, there's other channels that were at 200 and stuff that slow down, that pick back up because they associate with him. That plus brings you into sports, new brothers, And so I'm looking at this stuff and I'm like, y'all are so focused on Kevin. There's opportunities that's being created. You don't gotta like Kevin, but there's opportunities that's being created that maybe I'm just not privy to the conversation, but I feel like they're being missed. I think they're being missed because people are focused on trying to I guess knock that nigga down the peg, because that's the default that we have. So that's just my thoughts. I would tell people straight up, if y'all feel that strongly about it, because really it's about people's favorite YouTubers not being represented, you should be in Kwame Brown's chat every day he has one. And basically chat mob him. Angry Man, do a thing with Angry Man. Even super chat him. You got to do something with Angry Man, man. Y'all got to, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This is actually constructive. And I'm sure he would do it. I'm sure Kwame would do it because Kwame showed up on Red Supreme stuff one day. I was there. You know what Red Supreme did? He hung up on him because he didn't know he didn't think that was Kwame. He thought it was a troll. And then he came back in the chat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, you gotta look for the check. You gotta look for the check, I mean, but shit, I think that Kwame does watch from the clouds. I mean, I don't think he's gonna fuck with everybody, but you know. But look, listen. There's been a lots of criticism on the space, so
Yeah, if you want to
uh,
give me like some rapid questions so that I can answer it rather than going a monologue on everything, we can
yeah,
definitely
yeah,
do
yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, so what in your view is the purpose of the space? Since you're deep within the space, since you got history in it, because like many aren't clear, and I just want to hear it from someone. You
All
know.
right, so my personal view on what the purpose of this space is twofold. Number one, our purpose is to network with as many black men as possible. What does that mean? There's about 12 million black men in the United States. We say roughly 10 million adults. I'm talking about adult black men. There's always people turning 18. You get what I'm saying? So 18, 17, 16. We get that. But I'm talking about right now, right? Our first purpose, our first mission that I think we all can agree on, no matter where we come from with this. I think SYSBM could agree with this too, even though they're a separate thing. Password Bro, same thing. It's to network with as many black men as possible. The main, including that whole 10 million. Now, you don't, now people will say, okay, that sounds good, but everybody on YouTube, correct. Where is the majority of black men at? Even that they're always at, whether they're online or offline, or they know somebody that's at that. The barbershop. About 30,000 barbershops in the United States of America, are black barbershops. And obviously, if you get like top 10, 10 cities where black people are, you can get certain level of saturation, right?
Mm.
So that's like my kind of thing down the road. If I ever get around, when I get around to that and get a little bit more, income and stuff like that going on, because I'll invest in that on my own. But that's just to let you know, I'm not just saying that just to be saying that. That's actually a clear goal. You're talking about leveraging people, because you don't even need to pay for anything. Leveraging people that can print out papers, do a PDF, and people print it out on their own. And then, walk into barbershops, maybe barbershops they go to, people that they know go to. You get what I'm saying? So that doesn't have to take a lot of money. But my point is, the main thing, in the meantime, we still need to build this stuff up and get this stuff to a level. So that's to me kind of the non philosophical tactical goal, to create a communications pipeline. Because when you look at what the women have that in a variety of different ways. That's funded, white funded. We know, we get it. We need something that we can communicate now with one. Now, I'm not saying it has to be done first, but that's one of it. Now, the other thing is what I call these little philosophical things. These kind of, I call advocacies. So certain things advocate people advocate for different things. Me, my channel is an anti-propaganda channel. That's what my channel is. And the trending news that I do is designed for me to disseminate the real from the BS. And in the meantime, the trending news allows me to attract a newer audience. Then the second layer of my personal content is the education content, where I talk about the Edward Andersonisms. This basically allows people to understand what I think, why I think, for the other content. And then the deeper content is like what you do about it. But so that's my thing though, is anti-propaganda. You have people that they're more on self-improvement, so quality of life, I talk about that, but self-improvement. You have people that are more on black boys. You have people that are more on helping, child support. Palmer, Angerman's talking about that. Angerman came first, then Palmer. You have folks that are more like networking, like Grinch. You have, you know what I'm saying, you have different advocacy. So that's up to the content creator. And we tend to break up in factions, like SYSBM. That's kind of a different thing, but it has a lot of crossover. You got like Kevin with the relationship thing, you know, and that's where it gets murky because people don't understand it. And I think there is no through line because nobody can really say that. And then that's when people are being honest, because a lot of people have their own motivations. Like, I just want to make money, and there's nothing wrong with that. But it's kind of like they try to subvert other things, and that's really what's going on, and that becomes a problem.
Mm.
But you got Igmore's interest rates of black men in reform, which is pretty much, I mean, it's that's but to me that one thing is what it is, and then it's like, what else are you looking for? And then I can show you the content creators that are giving that. You see what I'm saying?
Mm.
Does that make sense though? The pipeline thing, the
Yeah, yeah,
communication
yeah, yeah. The pipeline, the networking, getting a collective of black men together.
and then what you want within that, getting, that's up to the content creator. And so when people ask me this question, I then say, what do you want to get out to space, and are you finding the content creators that match that? Because dudes tend to say that because they want you to dance. They want you to, and it's like, dude, like, what are you looking for? And I can reflect. And this is why I share a lot of content creators. Like I've shared Glendon Cameron business, Erica Williams business, Sub-Zero IT. MOT is in the trucking thing. I mean, I've shared Grinch. Dude that got it out the mud. I mean, I share a lot of different people. That's depending on what people are looking for. And if you're looking to deal, some people are looking to enhance their ability relationships. But the thing is, a lot of dudes they don't know why they're here. They're here for entertainment, and then they want to sit there and ask us like that's our fault. I'm like, YouTube is a reflection of the algorithm is a reflection of the channel you choose to look at. And I know this because I have many YouTube accounts for different things. I hope that answers the question. So basically, the main thing is to network with as many black men as possible, and then to advocate for whatever's important to you in the meantime.
Okay. All right.
That's the short of it.
Okay. Well, I guess another question would be, what do you believe is problematic with the space? Because that seems to be a big conversation.
The Highlander syndrome. Basically, niggas not being honest about what they really want. Dudes that want to think they're too cool to school. When I say that, I mean they think they're too cool to take YouTube seriously, but they still want to get mad when somebody else is getting coins. That's really that's an issue, because what they're doing, a lot of folks are rebel rousing. And then even for the folks that they take it a little bit, they do take it seriously and they want to do it. Subversion is an issue, and that's on the audience side and the content creator side. But that's the biggest problem. And what you have is other folks that are growing because they're not really connected to the space, but they're adjacent to it, and they're growing like gangbusters, and we're not growing because we're doing the same goofy ass shit. Because at the end of the day, niggas are still trying to advocate for women, even if they act like that's not what they doing. Period. And like I'm sorry, that's what's going on, and that's an issue. But that's gonna be an issue for them, because I know with me, I'm gonna do my thing with or without folks. So I'm not worried about that.
Yeah.
Because the thing about it is, I have my ideas of what this space is, and if I generate enough power, I know I can execute it. So I'm not even worried about that.
Yeah, this space should be about many different things, and I do understand that there is a variety. I understand that. But what do you think when people say that the space is female centered? That all we do is talk about women, all we do is focus on women?
Well, that's the channels they look at. I mean, when you look at all the things that we talk about, I mean, we talk about a lot of different stuff. I mean, you're not going to get some of the political stuff, like even in the political sector, you're not going to hear certain stuff that you hear. And that's not even just BGS, the code breakers, even though they can get on my nerves sometimes, the Black Brain Trust. There's certain things, I mean, the stuff that we talk about is like 2 years ahead, literally. And in the business stuff, I mean, you got adjacent channels, but you got channels that reflect business. This is why I share certain folks. So I mean, it's what you're looking at. What that is my favorite YouTuber is talking about this, and I want them to talk about that. That's really what that is. This whole space. Well, I'm like, who you listening to? This space is a lot of different people, and so that tells me everything I need to know. And this is why motherfuckers don't want to be honest about who they listen to. I mean, yeah. I mean, Angry Man don't talk. I mean, you got Solo, TB84, Crypto. I mean, it's a lot of different stuff. I mean, when people say that, I'm like, yo, who are you listening to then? Who's your top 5 YouTubers? Oh, well, I don't know. You should be able to rattle that off. The people you listening to, that shouldn't be nothing you got to really think about. Unless you want to bullshit.
I do have my own view on that. I respect anyone's opinion, but this is all, and I'm not trying to sit here and take swipes at anyone, but it seemed like that's what I hear about all black male spaces. Especially, I had one on Facebook that reached 30,000 members. They would say, like, from the 1 or 2 or 3 posts they didn't like, all we did was talk about black women, and there were a variety of posts. just to play devil's advocate on that narrative. There were political posts, there were current event posts, there were history posts, there were all kinds of posts. But the messier, more dramatic post always got the attention. And although it helped the group hop and, made the group fun at times, I mean, I got really annoyed by the fact that people would participate in all these posts and they would complain about the group as a whole. I'm like, what do you want me to do? My hands are tied. I mean, I could, mute some of these guys out, but I would have to mute some of the females out too.
What I
And what
say,
I don't really believe that people truly want peace. I don't. I mean, that's just me. I think this is in our nature to be dramatic as hell, and people need to start admitting to that. But
what I think, I'm in a lot of like personal groups that are like 3, 4, 5 people for certain
yeah,
things, and women are not talked about.
yeah,
You know, what I call them fire team groups, fire teams, and what I would say is that's what you need to do. You need to create. You don't have to have a YouTube channel to have a Discord. You don't have to. Instagram has its own group thing. Telegram has its own group
but
thing. I have one of them. Both. Facebook
I
has their
mean,
own group thing.
let me clear something up real quick. All of my conversation is of my making on YouTube. So I'm consciously aware of what the complaints are, but I barely listen. If I feel like talking about something, I'm going to talk about it. Period. You know.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, that I'm just saying that for other people that would have that. Like there is an actual solution to that if they want it, but usually
Mm,
that's just them bitching. I've
yeah.
shown people these things. So if you care about traveling, if you care about this, if you care about business, there's way. I mean, come on, man. We're millennials. I'm a millennial. There's ways for the networking technology.
Yeah.
If that's what you really want to do. But what it is that's just code for I want my favorite YouTuber to talk about what the fuck I want them to talk about without actually saying that because I don't want them to check me. That's what that is. That's what that is. I know that's what that is. And that's also, and dudes like to use a lot of stuff to basically bitch without looking like they're bitching, and they think I know what it looks like. So, um, yeah. I mean, you got people like, for take Ron Wills for example. Ron Wills has like a lot of channels. He has a business channel. He has his main channel. He has a woman's channel. He has a mindset channel. He has like same thing with Glendon. They have multiple channels. Like people have different channels for different things. Now I don't. Everybody doesn't. But you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So this idea, BGS has multiple channels. Books channel, all that. I mean, people are fronting, and so it's like YouTube is a big place. Like you, and then another thing is people always say, "Man, what this is what this space is supposed to be about, bro." That's that. Like it's like, dude, if you feel that way, make a channel or shut the fuck up.
Mm,
Like seriously, because get in the game. But it's like saying it's like you're a fan, but you're trying to tell a basketball. Look, we can have our opinions on what a football team, your favorite sports team need to do, but you really think you got an ownership stake and you don't. I'm just saying that's how people are running stuff. It's like yeah, some of y'all need to check yourselves. And then people are talking about audience members too, and then what happens is they end up being in this category where they just start hating on the space, and they start dealing with channels that straight up hate on the space.
mm,
And then it's like, and really what you're seeing when you see that is you're seeing the real them come out. You're seeing, the
yeah.
representative not be there anymore. That's
Yeah.
what you're seeing. And they
Yeah.
think,
I see
yeah,
these broadcasts too. I do, and I don't participate in the chats because it's just. I mean, like I'm not a huge fan of people saying stuff to me that I can't. They won't say 2 feet in front of me from other states. I mean, I used to push back, but then they'll hit you with all kinds of
yeah.
insults.
Ingenious says, that I know a lot of people at the top are trying to cater to black women a lot more. That's actually not true. That's actually not true.
Mm,
It really isn't. I mean, the problem. I mean, who is trying to cater to black women? I mean, Kevin did that, but who is trying to do that? Like who like really who out of the like BGS had his BGS for women. I thought that was really good. He got rid of that because y'all was losing your damn minds over it.
mm,
I mean, dude, it's like these phantoms and specters out here. The lead attorney is actually checked a lot of folks when they really he done got rid of folks when they get out of pocket. So I mean, poor man's podcast, mediocre. I mean, they don't do it any more than what they usually do. What are we talking about? Like seriously, out of the big players, who is made? You can kind of say that's not true with Obsidian because Obsidian talked with Sophia Nelson. He's always had back and forth with women. Who? Who? Because I know a lot of people in this space that y'all don't, as far as it's not even adjacent to this space. Who? The Lapeep Network, they're new. They're not even in this space. They made that very clear. And then people were saying it was a blessing and a curse. And it's like, some of y'all need to take a break from YouTube.
It was a blessing.
They keep saying women should have never been in the male space. Let me give you a news flash. Women have always been in this space. Even in 1.0.
1.0.
Yeah,
Oh,
like statue, like even
I heard a lot of them kind of grew off of 1.0. Like the more significant ones with the bigger channels that you really don't hear from all the time, like Chrissy.
yeah.
Or- Yeah, they grew, and what happened was I heard they went on a huge campaign to flag down male channels.
No,
And,
Chrissy was okay. So
yeah,
that
it
a
was
lot
crazy.
of that was sparked by Obsidian. They got tired of his ass, and then Sophia Nelson tried to go at them when there was an apocalypse at the same time. That's how
Okay.
that happened, and inadvertently, a lot of folk channels networked with each other because a lot of folks and that's really where really bore out 2.0. So that actually backfired really badly on them. But then so now he's went from a lot of people are catering to women to now no women should be on here. So basically, and this is code for Kevin shouldn't be talking to women. And a lot of folks are mad because Kevin ain't really elevating their favorite YouTubers, their favorite YouTubers. So
Uh,
they're angry. And so it's like, no, I mean, Fresh and Fit always dealt with women. So now we're moving the goalposts so women should not be in this space. Here's the problem, dude. The space, black male content is not the space. That's like saying Earth is the universe. Earth is the galaxy. Earth is a planet within a solar system, within a certain galactic arm within the galaxy. Like there's levels to it. And even within that, Earth is a part of the inner planets, and there's inner outer. Y'all think this space, every black man is not in the black manosphere. Why? How come that concept is so hard to understand? Like, think about it. You really think that every black part, there's the hip hop sector, and when I say the hip hop sector, I'm talking about like the urban kind of news sector. There is the sports sector. These sectors are bigger than our space. Our space is a network of channels. Our space isn't even the entirety of all black male content. Everybody didn't come through our space. Poor Man did not come through our space. Mediocre kind of was adjacent to it. Jada Black kind of came from 1.0. There's people you have never even heard of. And when people say like y'all need to just admit y'all feel some type of way and just say that and
well,
stop trying to
I
make it
mean,
sound logical.
yeah. Let me. Maybe it's the channels that they do frequent that the spectators expect more from. I mean,
But then
you
when
know,
I ask them who, they can't name it. Like I'm serious. I'm asking you in the chat. I'm not gonna say verbalize it. Who? Because the channels I'm aware of have not done that. Who?
mm,
Who? Like that's who is okay, they used to be about men, now all of a sudden they completely switch. Like completely switch. And the
mm,
message is watered down. How is the message watered down? Give me an example on what we used to say that we don't say anymore. You notice how I'm asking you questions and rather than answering it, you're just making statements. So we go from men are catering to women in space because we ain't getting super chats from women like that. Then we go to women should not be in the space at all, which you rarely see a woman on my channel Like most of the channels, Art of Igmore, Art in the Stall, BGS, Roger, they don't come on there like that. I mean, Bernard, they don't come on there like that. I mean, then it's the message is watered down. So what did we used to say that we no longer say?
Mm.
I mean, what are we talking about? Like, I'm gonna keep it real. Like a lot of y'all need to just go up under Mad Bus Driver and go to SYSBM. But see, he's about marriage. They just not dealing with sisters. I mean, you're not answering anything I'm saying. I'm not even trying to beat you up. I'm just giving an example, and that's what people are doing in my Discord and everything. They're not answering, so they're just making statements. And this is why I said I'm gonna just start muting y'all to fuck up. Because it's like y'all not saying that. Y'all are just having this emotional pouring, and then y'all think I'm gonna say some shit. Dude, I've been on this bitch for 5 years. I only been monetized for a year and a half. Any nigga that's talking about I don't water shit down, when motherfuckers been taking super chats and shit like that. I was one of the last ones to really adopt super chats and cash apps. The last one. I saw how much I made last year. I've sacrificed a good amount of change because I did it in middle of last year. So again, it ain't even a year and a half straight up. I ain't even monetized for a year yet. And I had the ability to monetize. I wasn't taking cash apps. I wasn't taking nothing. People will tell you had to email me and then I would give you my PayPal. Because as a salesman, I felt weird about people giving me money for me just talking.
Well, I don't.
Well, I mean, that was just
anybody.
No, it ain't nothing wrong with it. I'm just saying how it was with me, and also I didn't want YouTube really in my business. So I said, okay, YouTube, I'm not gonna monetize. I'm not gonna mess with that. That way, I'm not messing with your advertisers, and then leave me alone. And then I misspelled my stuff, so I wasn't really participating in the algorithm. That's why my stuff is misspelled and I always look retarded. It's like that on purpose, and it worked out. My channel ain't been messed with for the most part. Knock on wood, because I know a lot of that is luck. But
Okay, let me answer a question from Indigenous TV. He said, "How was Jessica X able to blow?" And I'm sure he meant up in a space like this.
Same way Crimson Cure was. I mean, dude, like there's always been women in this space. Ashley W. Like, how long have you been in this space? That's what I need to know. The same way is, it has nothing to do with simps. Like, dude, if you understand advertising. Women have always been a part of, like, as far as an advertising element. Like, some of y'all acting like kids now. I know you all didn't grow up with ESPN before ESPN had women.
Edward, kind of chill on the audience, man. Like, they do take the time to come here. It just.
I'm being a lot. I'll be cool, but I'm being a lot nicer than what I do with my audience. My audience, trust me, I'm like 10 times worse than my audience. But I know that's my channel, so I get that. But just letting you know.
Yeah, I got you. I got you.
You know what my last title of my channel was called?
What was
De-wrenching and Purge, and it wasn't clickbait.
It wasn't clickbait.
And the channel on the title before that was if you say. Is it more about the money? Mentioning the money one more time. I don't care if you all super chatted me. And I got an itemization of people that's cashed app, so I know how much people have given me. You're done. But I'll respect your platform. But I'm just saying. I'm answering these questions. I'm just saying.
Absolutely.
There's nothing specific. As far as the Jessica X joint, I mean, again, I'm sorry, Kev, but I gotta say it.
Go ahead.
That's the audience. The content creators didn't promote Jessica X. Y'all did that. Y'all did that by talking about her, and y'all did that by super chatting her. You act like she's getting all this. You act like Jessica X basically made a round of every channel, right? We're like Pretty Kelly or something. Like, she went through every channel. Angry Man, this, and then that's how she got her following. No, y'all gravitated towards her. So that's an audience problem. So you don't need to ask the content creators that. You're asking me to control the space. I can't even control y'all not talking about Kevin. So what makes you think I can control that? See, that's the problem. That's y'all needing to hold the audience accountable as audience members. Y'all are trying to blame us. What control do we have over what audience does? Because the truth is, most people wouldn't even know about Jessica X if y'all wouldn't have been hollering about her all day, every day. And I know that's true because even Grown Man Business, who's adjacent to this space, because that's what he says, has said he didn't know who Jessica X was until he just kept hearing people getting mad about it. And he said, okay, he just typed it in there and he said, hey, yo, she ain't, I like what she say. And this is a dude that critiques this space too. And he dropped her some money. But Jessica X is like the only one they can really name. Kendra is allowed. So other than that, Jessica X is literally the only female they can name because you can't really name Danielle and Concrete because they're not getting that Jessica X support is what I mean.
Okay. Who is J.I. Indigenous TV was talking about? Simps didn't throw J.I. under the bus when Jessica X accused him of trying to holler at her. Who is J.I.?
I think he's a I think he's kind of like a panelist sometimes.
Okay.
But the reality of the situation is you're trying to hold me accountable for what other grown men are doing as far as how they consume. You're asking me to control how other dudes consume YouTube. And what a lot of people want to do is they want all the whole space to say, F Jessica X. If I see you looking at Jessica X, I'm blocking you across all channels. That's really what dudes want, but they won't say that because they know how ridiculous that sounds.
Jessica X. I'm gonna give you a little history of what I've observed. She started out on like people's panels like O'Shea, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, O'Shea, and then when she started a channel, she just kind of blew up from there. I mean, I remember seeing her profile, and it already had like 300, 400 subscribers. So what I will say in the aspect of the audience choose these people, yeah, absolutely correct. But definitely the top guys, I would say, with the exception of Angry Man, did take her in. I mean, I'm not saying just by O'Shea letting her on the panel or anything like that, but Obsidian's real chummy with her. I think even Kevin Samuels to an extent is kind of chummy with her as well.
Okay,
Angry Man sent her away one time,
and so and BGS don't like her like that. To keep it all the way 100. So my thing is, what do you expect me to do? Because that's what I'm asking. Like, why are folks telling me this? Because women ain't even. What kills me is women ain't even on my channel like that. So it's kind of like, why are y'all telling me like I can outvote these people? I mean, this is how I know there's no logic to it. And the thing about it is, you really got to ask yourself, if you cannot comport yourself around a female, like, then I don't know what y'all really doing here. Like, honestly, because it's kind of like it's almost as if, are y'all around women in real life? Well, we need our space. Like, no, you don't. If you want your space, build one. Because you didn't build this. Like, straight up.
Now, here's
and the people that super chat, I noticed the people that cash app and super chat the most, you don't hear this stuff from. But go ahead.
Well, let me see. Women blowing up so easily in a supposed male space is a bit funny to me.
They're not blowing up. Who is all these women that blew up? Name them. Six the Goddess and them were in there. They're on Instagram. Danica on Facebook. Like, so name these women. Jessica X is the only one y'all can really talk about. Crimson Cure was up under Angry Man. And nobody really is against her. It's only really one person that's really saying anything bad about her. That's it. I'm not gonna name it.
Maybe, and like I said, maybe we're talking about the incursion of, I don't know, female panelists.
Who? And where? I mean, y'all talk about the Lapeef Network. I mean, that's where you gotta go. I mean, where? What channel has all these female panelists even every once in a while? I mean, you got Roger Report, you got Bernard, you got me. I'm starting to do panels more. BGS, Angry Man don't do panels like that. Never really did. Who?
But
I'm not being stupid. I really want to know.
Well, I mean, like, I would say some of the channels that a lot of people watch that, like, I've kind of checked out too. what do you think of someone like a Platinum Elite? Because he has a lot of female panelists, and
Okay, Platinum.
a lot, a lot of these guys watch people like Platinum. Let me see who else.
I'm
Ramil let a female on his panel to comment.
Ramil is known for him having a no female channel, so we're basically now reaching down to the one time.
The one time,
Like,
well,
yeah, so
I saw it
then
today,
I
but
got a lot more women on my own than because Kareen and them is always
Yeah.
on here every once in a while. So I mean, in that case, so basically what we're doing is the one time a woman was ever on a panel.
no,
Now,
I said that. I said that. You know, I don't really check. Like Ramil just came back. The times I did see Ramil, you know, he did have guys on the panel, but you know, Ramil did let a female up today. But that doesn't mean he does that on a regular basis.
Platinum Elite. I mean, Platinum. I mean, so we got to reach that far for Platinum. I mean, shout out to Platinum Elite. I'm glad he's growing. I mean, I don't expect you to do this stuff for free. But that's what Platinum Elite, that's what he wants to do. Let him run his channel because he was one of the main ones talking that crap too. So, I mean, but the point is Platinum Elite is like DJ Kuda. Like, they're not, I mean, he's bigger now than Kuda, but they're not really, they're like out there. They're not like a core thing of the space. To me, they're like out there, like one step from like Taz and them. So, I mean, is that what we're saying now? Like the level, let me calm down.
Those guys.
But I'm just saying, if you got to reach that far, then I'm asking who. This is, I mean, people are just saying stuff at this point. I'm not sitting here trying to be stupid. Like, for real. I'm not trying to say who, like, put people on the spot. But if you're saying that it's all this, then there should be people you can name. The core folks to do panels, women are not even on there like that. I mean, keep it at 100. Like, this is cap.
Oh, shit. What's up? Shout out to the Roger Report, Max, for the super chat. Really appreciate the generosity. Said salute to Hurricane Edward and long live the habitual line stepper.
Yeah, come up here, Donnie, because I definitely want to hear what you got to say about the Nicki Minaj Kevin shit. I would love to get your opinion on it. I ain't talked to you in a minute. Melanie King had like 400, 500,000 subscribers before she ever entered. You ever knew who she was in this space because she had it with a couples thing. I checked that out. Melanie King had a whole bunch of subscribers and she's redoing another channel. In like this niche, there's a lot of channels. Like you got that, I call it hate table, but that table of 8. You got her dear future wifey. You got a whole bunch of factions like stuff that's coming up. You got a lot of stuff, man. Cause they'll come around lead attorney and stuff. You know, tends to attract a lot of them. I mean, what, like, y'all are just naming people now. Like, what panel have you seen Melanie King on? She was on the Lapeef Network. That's the closest that you get to us, and they made it very clear they are not us. Shit, Jason Black has that play. Jason Black is a female channel. Then, if y'all want to play that game, because women are a lot more a part of his program. I'm just, come on, y'all gotta do better than that, guys. Come on, man. I'm trying. You need to give me more. Women blowing up so easily so basically, that's what I'm saying. You keep saying women blowing up. You do realize there's more women on in YouTube than men, right? You do realize that, right? The women are blowing up because they can pull from women and men. The men are just pulling from men. You do understand that, right? That includes Jessica. Jessica is siphoning people from Chrissy, Paris, a lot of folks. That's really what nobody talking, and that's reflected in the women that are in her channel. So it ain't just dudes. So when y'all keep saying, "Oh, it's like, all these dudes,"
and like I'm not gonna, I didn't want to name all the women. I mean,
let's do that shit. We ain't talking greasy about them.
You got Sweet Melody speaks. I mean,
she
who is her own channel. Game Changer, he interacts with Melanie, so that's not saying bringing up Game Changer's name. That's not really saying much.
No, the truth is, Melody. Do you know how many followers Melanie has on Instagram?
A lot.
Guess.
I
have you seen it?
Have I seen it? Maybe a couple thousand.
Okay, 20.
20.
20,000.
20,000.
And her stuff is, I won't say it's kind of a little bit low active for that amount, but it is active. So remember that, and she ain't even on here like that. She just on here to play around, like real talk, So remember that. So that's her. Since I need to help you all, since you all can't think of women, even though you all are the ones that brought this up. Chantel Simone. You don't know about Chantel because Game Changers talked to her. You want to know what's interesting about Chantel Simone?
What?
Remember who she was talking to? Not talking to, like hollering at, but who she was interacting with? Poor Man. Poor Man's got 370. So you think that wouldn't have helped her blow up? Because Poor Man has talked to her recently. So when Poor Man was a lot lower, like at like 80, they interacted because Game Changer came up there too. So a lot of her stuff, she's in his like orbit. He pretty much has his own orbit. So I mean, I know a woman, Nurse Nerd could have blew up. She didn't. I real talk. She needs to go to cooking. I think she'd do very well with that. Not to say she can't talk about this, but I'm saying if you're on YouTube to actually get some money out of it, do the Jamaican cooking thing. She already got her channel was like the look on that. But that light skinned chick, I just couldn't stand. That a blobby chick, yeah. And I stopped sharing her with that because I'm like, you need to check your friend. But you keep saying women are blowing up so easy on YouTube. Women, it's the statistics show black women in media in much hyper numbers than what black men are. Also, if you want to blow up it with black men, you need to stick with hip hop or stick with either hip hop, the barber shop industry kind of thing, as far as like beards and stuff like that, or getting sports. I mean, this is not the niche, technically. So it's like people are. It's just this. Oh my God, women are doing this, women are doing that. Yo, women have always, like April Mason and all of them. They've always had male subscribers because we're not. Our space is not the hub of all men. Like, do you realize that Derek Jackson has a lot of men that watch him? Like, for real though, like people really out here. I mean, Cynthia G has what 100. She about to be 100?
There are literally men that make videos supporting Cynthia G. So
yeah. And then you're not even mentioning the pro-black sector, which is not even in our sector. They a lot of it is them. Y'all are getting mad at us when it's really other networks. It's like you all think you can control the flow of stuff. I mean, I'm gonna tell you, Melanie King's attractive. She's attractive. She let that melanin shine a little bit when she gets a little bit darker. I know dudes are gonna do that. Same thing with Six the Goddess. That's why her and Danica tried to do a similar channel. Avery Willie tried to jump on YouTube. She went back to Instagram. Because Avery really got the 7,000, she got that initial boost, but she wasn't blowing up like she thought she should, and she's attractive. Love Dorsey has hell. I mean, niggas are begging her to come to YouTube. They think she could catch Kevin if she would have come to YouTube. She legit could. But she I don't know what is with her with YouTube, and really it's to the point where dudes are afraid to get not dudes, women be asking her too. She literally has a chick. There's a chick that literally uploads Love Dorsey's videos, and I know this chick be getting at least $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 a month off uplifting her stuff.
Damn.
Because she takes her live streams on Instagram, downloads them, and put them on there. I Love Dorsey ain't saying nothing, so it's got to be sanctioned. But if you don't catch it on Instagram, you can catch it on YouTube, and it be doing like 30,000. So I know, like every video, 30, 40, 50. So I said, I know this chick is getting at least 7 or 8.
All right, we got Dunny up here. What's going on, man?
Long time, man.
What up, fellas?
Yeah.
Living my best life. How y'all doing?
I'm doing all right.
Good. Yeah, and he was asking about what your take was on the Kevin situation. Then I got a question for you myself. But what? Oh, he just dropped off.
That's his take. He
he
left in protest.
He left in protest. No, but he'll probably be back. I mean, shoot.
Yeah, I was joking around, man. Like Muslims, man. Like I was like, these people in this space are issuing real nigga fatwas and stuff. Fatwa is it's basically like calling somebody out officially in the Muslim body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
What else is he saying? I like this back and forth. I like this back and forth, man. I mean, I'm answering your questions in like honestly, man. I'm not. What else is he saying?
There's Donnie. What's the deal with Donnie?
All right. So y'all was talking about Kevin and Nicki Minaj, right?
Yeah, so I want to know. So before they had a car, when did you hear that this happened?
I think the day it happened.
Cause somebody told me, and I said, "Man, that's fake." I saw the thumbnail. I said, "Man, this can't be real." And then I jumped on it. I started looking at the. I didn't even before I looked at the video. I started looking at the comments. I said, "Oh, okay," because somebody would have said, "No, this fake." Blah blah blah. So yeah.
Well, that's my theory about Kevin Samuels. Kevin Samuels is an opportunist, which you should be in this space. He's a man trying to, at the end of the day, ultimately make a dollar. So when he got on, I felt like he was a little starstruck, and he took it as an opportunity to build his brand to another level. Um, y'all keep putting that man in the manosphere. That man do not. If he's okay with being in the manosphere, but he wants to be bigger than the manosphere.
And he should be.
So for
He
him
should
to
want to be that.
right, so for him to do that, I think in his mind it requires a little ass kiss at times,
So
which is
you
what he
think?
did with Nikki.
So you think he kissed her ass?
Yeah, he kissed her ass a little bit, just a little bit, just a little bit. He let her get away with things he wouldn't have let nobody else get away with, and
Like what?
it, she went on to the whole narrative about us women we need to stop worrying about these men. I was like, oh, he gonna say that? No. And then he pitched himself to get on whatever her radio show is, Queen's Radio, the Queen Gambit, whatever the fuck it is. So he did all that really to get a spot on her channel and lift himself to the masses,
Well,
which I'm not gonna hate on him for, but I think that his core audience uh, is gonna be upset about the shit.
well, I mean, his core audience. Let's be clear here. Most of the people complaining about this are not known to be being fans of Kevin. Kevin's core audience, like the people that super chat and stuff, like folks like Theo, folks like Dennis, those folks, they're making it very clear that this is perfectly acceptable what he did. So as far as people that actually rock with Kevin, for the most part, nobody's mad. It's really a lot of people that don't, for the most part. Now, it's the reason why I asked you that is because I didn't want to lead you into any answers. Like, so we'll get into specifics. What do you think about when he said that she was a 9?
Uh, I mean, I think she's in the face. I think she's a 9.
I mean, so
But
you don't even, so that ain't even what you disagree, because that's what everybody, that's the one thing that people are kind of capitulating to as far as ass kissing. Is that 9? That's the one thing. Go ahead.
yeah, but again, I've listened to a lot of hours of it. I don't think I've ever heard him touch on Nicki Minaj and give her a rating. I think the bitch is cute. She did the plastic surgery, so she paid the cost to be the boss. Now the plastic surgery on her ass and the titties, I was waiting for him to say something about that. And
But
then
like, he wasn't gonna say that. I mean, that's fighting words.
you're right, but
And
I was waiting for some to come out about that. And then he usually does age, height, weight. He
so
skips some
you do
steps in order to
realize he
give
was
her.
on her stuff, right?
Yeah, he
So it wasn't like it was on his show. So like my thing
oh, he
is,
was on her show.
yes.
I thought he was on her show,
I
on
know
his
I
show,
did.
and she popped up.
I did too. That's why I'm telling you that. And then it was certain things, and then I caught her. I said, "Oh, so what happened was I don't. Nobody has said how he was in her chat, but somehow using her chat, her people was crying, doing the same thing they were doing with Stormy Wellington, crying and Nikki, trying to get one of the quote unquote queen bees or whatever." To saying you heard this dude, blah, blah blah, and then somehow he wound up there, but he was on her live. It was a live too. It wasn't like a formal thing.
Oh, oh, then
Yeah.
yeah,
So
he did everything he was supposed to do in order to bring his channel up.
yeah. So
Little ass
remember,
keeping ain't gonna hurt.
yeah, because I thought that too. So in the context of that, when she asked to be rated, because I was like, why would you ask to be rated like on his stuff, like the way that happened? But no, she asked that, so that's why I see like she was kind of leading it. Like she was kind of leading the conversation. Was that kind of look like, wow, you letting her, you get on cruise control? But it's like, yeah, that was her joint. So she could have just dropped him at any time.
Yeah.
And that's another thing. I'm not, because I get it, but I'm just saying, you got to remember, I'm not assuming this is set up. I'm assuming this really just happened the way it happened. You have to understand, he doesn't know how long he's going to be there. And it's like, if you get a show, then yeah, I think people can be a little bit more, why didn't you do this or do that? Because now, you know, you got an hour or something. You can have a conversation that's more formal. But when you're just on the live, you don't know what she gonna do. And then, so that was, yeah. And so, what did you think about, because a lot of people are saying that when she said she was a size 4, that's a lie. So he should have called her out on that.
But yeah, but now everything's changed. Now he's on her show. Yeah, nigga. Well, you know, sometimes it just be like that.
Oh, so they started. Yeah. I mean, because I thought that too, man. Because you know the way that the videos look, it looks like it's his normal thing, except he's at the bottom. Was he at the bottom? I think he was at the bottom. That don't sound. But you know,
There's a joke to be made there.
yeah. But yeah, man, it's. Oh, but the biggest contention now. See, what do you think about her rating herself a 7?
Fake humbleness.
But the fact that this is a New York chick doing that, yeah. So okay. And
Fake
then she
humility.
was really thinking about that. Hey, fake humility gets you a long way, man. Black women can learn from that shit. A lot of dudes will tolerate a lot more BS if you sprinkle some fake humility in there every once in a while. You gotta give the dude the hope for something. That was probably some game she dropped. So yeah, they talk about she a size 12. And by the way, Donnie, I remember dudes. First time I heard of Nicki Minaj, dudes was like, "Yeah, man, I'm gonna have her baby." I'm like, "What?" I heard like multiple dudes say that. I'm gonna have her
That's
baby.
on fleek.
Yeah, so I mean, if she would have had the plastic surgery like now, like when the way the technology is now, it's probably the techniques are probably more perfected. Because her top is there, as far as her chest to her face, and the last part was probably the eat a dick comment.
The
That
eat a
was-
dick comment.
Yeah, she said that people on TikTok that use his content and everywhere else, they can eat a dick. That was right around when she said what she said about what women should work on themselves and then get a dude on some April Mason type of stuff.
Yeah, said there's a bunch of dudes
So
on
women
TikTok.
should be 75 years old, get it together, and then look for a husband and have some kids.
Well, yeah, because like what she was saying, she told Kevin, "Excuse me, let me talk about girls for a second," and so she basically made a comment about how on how y'all need to stop worrying about if these dudes want you or not, and you need to work on building yourself. And as far as the dudes that are basically using the Kevin's stuff to basically attack women because they're hurt or whatever, y'all could eat a dick. Nobody cares about you. And she said
it's her platform.
mainly on TikTok. Yeah.
Her platform. She can do the fuck she wants to do.
So you don't think that's as big of a deal as if he would have did it on his platform?
I was like, niggas should feel betrayed. But it's not his platform. He's a 50-year-old man. Sometimes you got to know when to phone him.
Why do you think that matters? I'm asking you because
She can do whatever the fuck she wants to on her platform. Who is he to go on her platform and dictate what she says and how she reacts? And for him to get up there on her platform and be like, "Hey, bitch, hold on. You can't say," he looked like a complete asshole. So,
Man,
now I want you to know all these other dudes know he was on her platform. This wilding out. But go ahead.
oh, wow. Well,
So they know that, because I didn't know it at first, but I've had many conversations, too many on these panels about this crap, and that stuff was all done. So they all know it's on her platform. So all these response videos, this I can't believe Kevin did this, and these are people that it's like y'all didn't even rock with Kevin heavy like that anyway. So it's kind of like you're trying to make noise. It's kind of like, okay, let's say you're a Democrat and then Trump does something. I can't believe he's representing us, blah, blah, blah. Why aren't you mad about this? Like you're trying to create it, you know what I'm saying? But anyway.
No, I mean, what I did say the other night was that what if he did react? Then there'd have been a lot of these dudes talking about he failed the shit test. It'd have been the shit test.
Yeah.
You know, like they did with Tommy Lee. You know,
Oh, he didn't
pass
hold frame.
the
He didn't
shit
hold.
that-
Look at him. He didn't hold frame. He paid like I know that's how it is because it was the same thing with Brittany Renner. It was the same thing with Blue Jasmine. Well, okay. So what do you think about the Future music video that's about
I
to
haven't
happen?
seen it. Is the video out?
No, it's not. I ain't watching the music video in a minute. The last
First
music
off,
video
I think it's funny as fuck.
Future and Kevin
I
Samuels.
can't wait to see this shit.
yeah, and what a lot of people don't know is there's a Instagram page called Hoodville, which is it's got 8 million subscribers. Do be putting in work like 8 million subscribers, 14,000 posts, and Future actually shared that when he did a concert recently. It's maybe a couple months ago. He actually shared a whole bunch of memes from the site, and it was a big deal because he's a big Future fan. So he has another page called City Boys. It's basically like fuckboy memes. But a lot of I'll give you an example. One of the memes are, send your girl flowers as a secret admirer. If she don't tell you, that bitch cheating. Like shit like that.
Down logic.
It's funny though. It's funny, but you think about it like, yo, I might try this, but it's funny.
Man, there's a content creator that has in his title "The Lames Will Lose." I wish I could tell you who this was.
I ain't gonna lie, yo. I unsubscribed from a whole bunch of people a few hours ago.
The fuck
Anybody that
out
had
of here
that
with
crap,
this
whether it was
bullshit, man.
whether it was street dude, a high value man. I said, I'm clearing my feed out. I'll check back in a couple of weeks, see if y'all ain't tripping. I'm not hearing. I'm not like I call it the War of Roses.
Holy fucking shit!
Lame to lose. You do like. Here's the funny thing about that. Y'all do realize if y'all calling somebody lame, like y'all supposed to be able to Mike Tyson a quote unquote lame. If you're going, if a lame is quote unquote going the distance,
lose what? Hey, come on. I think they're making this more than what it really is.
To some of these people, like I had dudes saying, you know what, drop your addy right there, addy, your address. What? They would say to the other people in my chat. They mad, man. I had to do a whole video saying I ain't in it, but
I mean,
if a lame go the distance with you, that's not a good look. You do realize that, right?
That lame, I'm gonna go ahead and say it. The Lane versus Pookie thing need to stop. I'm gonna go ahead and say this right now because number one, nobody wants to be called a lame. And I believe deep down, no one wants to be called a Pookie, but then to try to make Pookie relatable,
them niggas got pride in that. Some dudes got pride in that.
Yeah, that's what I was getting to. To add relatability to Pookie.
Because I tell people, a Pookie is not necessarily a street dude. A Pookie is an unproductive black man. Every street dude.
I mean, they because they're putting it in the context of street dude.
Well, but I tell people on my channel, I'm very clear. A street dude is not a Pookie. A Pookie is like a subsection of street dude is not productive. That's what that is. And what it is people ain't getting enough attention. So that's why they're wilding out like this. I mean, you can't articulate it. I mean, this is what I was talking about. People, man, it's all this stuff in the space and da 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 and all these women. I'm like naming the channels. Who? What? What are you talking about? Nobody can name nothing.
Hey, Donnie, in Disney TV, I ain't mean to cut you off, Edward, but Donnie, he said, "What do you think about Obsidian telling black men to read Kama Sutra to improve our dick reports?"
What?
Obsidian is a provocateur to not be taken seriously at times. So y'all are really now y'all want to listen to Obsidian. But to be fair,
I'm not gonna hold you. I have read some of that. Now I've come through it in passing. Some of that is some free shit.
Yeah, let's get that. Go ahead.
I don't need no damn Kama Sutra.
Kama Sutra. Man, that sounds like some Skinamax shit, man.
Well, first of all, let's keep it like,
I got Lacey Duval for that. No, go ahead.
Let's keep this all the way 100. Sexual health. There is nothing wrong with like sexual health, like physical health, like anything. PC muscle exercises, all out of this stuff. And y'all know what these hoes want, so I don't know why y'all are fronting. But see, this idea that every street nigga got like a, they basically is an Adonis, because I'm not about to, nobody clip me. When it comes in the bedroom, or a porn star in the bedroom, we know that shit ain't true. So let's cut the bullshit. So, I mean, I don't even know why y'all front. See, y'all want to operate on reputation. And truth be told, that shit was given to y'all for a reason. When I say y'all, I'm talking people that want to hold that. It was given to y'all so y'all can focus more on that and not competing economically, which is why, folks want the shit. And see, the thing about me is, what you don't understand is y'all are actually uplifting the gynocracy because you all are uplifting the gynocentric programming. Tommy Sotomayor said this, and I don't even like Tommy, but I gotta give him credit for this. He said, black women are not afraid of you because black women programmed you as mothers. And when you all play that Pookie and Ray Ray, that educated lane crap, that's you basically operating on that programming, because that shit makes no sense outside of a female context. And there are no women here, so what's the point?
Yeah, Rogan's
this
son,
is a male space.
Rogan's son poses a interesting question. He said, "How is Pookie's assumed lack of productivity measured, and by whom?"
So you telling me you economics? Do you have a job? Are we really playing this game? Are we real legal work? You don't get to do illegal shit and scams and say you're productive. I mean, come on. And this is the problem. Black men don't want economics to be a measuring stick. That's the programming. That's why they always want to worship the game religion. And then you say by whom? I mean, it's not a person, dude. It's like saying, okay, how do you measure a dude that is a select guy? Generally by the females he can demonstrate he can get. Well, you measure production by generally economics. Do you disagree with that? I'm asking him, but y'all can answer too. Do y'all disagree with that?
No, I mean, this is what I wanted. I'm assuming that Rogish needed or wants a more clear definition of a Pookie archetype. Now, is it just an unproductive man?
Yes.
It just is not a hood dude per se, a street dude, things like that. It's just an unproductive man, basically your basic homosexual.
Yeah. You don't tend to see Pookies in the suburbs because the suburbs are expensive to live at. Unproductive dudes are gonna get in the suburbs are gonna get harassed by the police. If you in a real suburb, like a white suburb, they gonna be on your ass. Like, trust me, I don't know personally, but I've seen that. Because if you in real suburbs where these cops ain't got nothing to do but pay attention to little shit, then yeah, you ain't gonna be loitering or you at the gas station for no reason, like typical on the corner. That's not happening. Where I'm at.
It's one of those things where you know it when you see it, right? Like, I got a friend, best friend from junior high school. His older brother is the king of Pookies, right? This is a man with 7 kids that we know of. He hasn't had a job since the age of 24. Refuses to go out and look for a job and is always on some bitch couch.
Yeah, and then folks said, my girl ain't complaining. I mean, look, man, I'm not sitting here saying you need to read a book called Kama Sutra, but I'm gonna tell you, and like I said, there's people, BGS has what's his name? There's people like, at the end of the day, your sex game is like anything else. Anything can be improved. And so if y'all want to pretend like y'all are too good to enhance stuff, then hey, fine. That's your choice. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, why shouldn't men take sex advice from men on how to improve?
Well, I'm not even. Yeah. Well, I mean, the information is out there. It ain't like for instance, there's a book called it's like Master or Lover or Female Sexuality. It talks about the mental part. And black men don't tend to have this issue as much because we grow up in a gynocracy where we're measured on that a lot more than what other groups are. But there is still certain things about the female mind, like, my point is, if y'all want to think y'all get too good for that, fine. Don't care. But there is something to what Obsidian is doing past the provocateur thing. So y'all want to play that? Ooh, he gay, he gay, he gay. I mean, come on, man.
All right. D. Scott, thank you for the super chat. Says for the plate and the hurricane.
Yeah. So I mean, are you see like?
Thank you.
Yeah. So appreciate that. Yeah, D Scott is off the chain. I got some, man. Like I said, I went through my Cash App statement because you can get I found a way to get an itemized thing of who gave what. Yeah, I really appreciate folks for real.
Oh,
Sex
yeah.
advice from a dude drives a scooter is a non-select. I'm good, cheap. I didn't say you got to get it from Obsidian.
When Obsidian drives a scooter.
I don't know if he does, but I didn't say that. Did I say
Scooters
that?
are economical in
say-
Philly. You can't. You don't have no parking there.
I didn't say he drove a scooter either.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just assuming because
Hilarious.
he's the original dude that said it. But I mean, if y'all wanna, I mean, fine. Y'all are all sex gods. Hey,
Oh man,
I don't
Jay-
need to. Yeah.
you said Jaded Black came up through 1.0, was not really a part of the Manosphere, right? Yeah, he has a live going right now. There's no swipe at him though, but he has a live going right now, and the title of it is "Why Bitter Melanated Females Hating for Melanated Men Will Keep Them Single." Like everybody.
Jada Black was a part of 1.0. Jada Black just does his own thing, and there's certain people that do that. I mean, even Black Ram to a certain extent keeps to himself. I mean, certain people like Jada Black. Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I actually saw that. That was coming on. Yeah, Jada Black is at about 177, maybe more. He keeps his stuff hidden, but every once in a while he slips and lets it show his subscriber count.
Okay, well, I mean, the point I was saying is like the point of me even saying that for real though is like everybody is having these conversations, and I'm not saying that the Black Manosphere shouldn't have purpose or anything, but it only seems weird when these conversations are had here. But I will say this. Any conversation that is in repetition, that does become a little tiresome, and I'm not saying that what the case is here, especially on my platform, because I even like, do we really all we just do is talk about women? I had to look at my own lives and everything and see how many of them were actually about females. Not very many. I mean, I mean, like of all of the videos I've made, I don't even think like 20% of them are about. It may involve a female, and stories and subject matter news stories. Sometimes you can't help but to mention females, but as far as female nature and what these hoes doing and all that, those are very few broadcasts. And even then, it's like you're pretty much allowed to talk about what you want to talk about. And the important thing really at the end of the day is to stay true to yourself. To stay true to yourself and be authentic, and that will shine through. I wouldn't suggest a topic in repetition, but at the same time, it's one thing that we have to keep in mind is that our people, we go for the knee jerk. We go for whatever we don't like first. So that's it for that. I mean, people are allowed to talk about what they want to talk about, and what I always suggest to people is if you want a certain type of conversation, promote that conversation. Let's lean more toward the conversations that we want to see and we say that we like, instead of just like complaining about the conversations we say are always happening. Great. Awesome. Yes, maybe there does need, and I can admit this myself, maybe there does need to be some forward motion and a little bit more diversified in the space, but we have a bunch of people like that, new people that are coming to the space with new ideas. So the whole thing about, we're always just discussing getting bitches and female nature and all this other stuff, those conversations, like there are a couple of content creators that have those conversations every day, but as far as the general message of the space, I would say that's probably a bit different, but
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I mean, my thing is, I've known what that was for a while. That's just a way of dudes politicking to basically try to create leverage and control. So you got folks like the lead attorney, you got Pocket Watch with JT. You got a lot of folks in here, man. This different content. So I mean, if people want to sit here and do that, that's on them. But like I said, that's them trying to tell other folks what to do. So anyway, with that being said, um, um, so did you see the picture of Summer Walker, Donnie, the
Donnie.
Goro look?
I only know Goro.
Yeah, Mortal Kombat.
Yeah. They're saying that there might be something wrong with her head or whatever. Well, I mean that probably would be typical, but
I've always understood that bitch to be a nutbag. Like something was
yeah,
wrong with her psychologically. And she was missing tour dates and shit like that because something was wrong with her. She didn't like people, which I thought it was a weird thing to get into. Singing nationally and doing concerts if you don't like people, like there was all kind of shit wrong with that bitch.
yeah. Indigenous TV. Let me shout you out real quick. Thanks for the compliment this morning, man. I really appreciate it. I mean, it's good. Like in all of the criticism and the negativity that surrounds the space, and even black men speaking on truths, it's good to get a good word every now and again. And it honestly, I think you were being very kind. But that's just me being a harsh critic on myself. I've always been a harsh critic on myself, but I really appreciate it, man. Because I don't understand what old boy meant by I've been on one lately, but just whatever. yeah,
Yeah, I'm getting good with these edits, man.
yeah,
These
yeah, yeah. I
uh,
see you starting to edit videos.
yeah, so they doing these little goofy edits and stuff. Yeah, I'm building up the arsenal, man. So yeah, I'm trying to build my shit, turn this into a lick. Why I'm gonna get this game. The game is to be sold, not told. But for real, we as far as getting into sports, I've talked about that. There's a lot of channels. I'm gonna be doing some collabs with some different folks. But you got the sports sector. It's a lot of sectors. But the thing is, man, if people want to see something, they need to get in the game. Have y'all been watching Peacemaker?
Oh yeah.
That shit on TV.
Oh, what the new episode is out?
No, it'll
No,
be
that's
out.
Thursday, I think.
Oh, Thursday. Oh, okay.
Yeah, oh yeah, that
Man,
I ain't gonna
that's
lie, I
about the
gotta give John Cena credit, man. Yeah,
yeah, that's
like
about the best show on television right now.
yeah, James Gunn was like, "This is why you let me say what I want to say about women." I'll give you this little rinky show just to show you who I am. But yeah,
Yeah, but what do y'all think of the Color Purple being remade?
Well, you know my stance on the color purple.
yeah,
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 That bitch's
yeah.
mama fault.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna be getting some views off that shit. 'Cause I'm gonna be beating.
yeah,
I'm gonna beat the shit out of that.
yeah.
For real.
Yeah, I mean, I heard it was a musical, and then they're remaking the film itself.
Yeah, I mean, my thing is, and they're crying, and I am. I'm going. I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but to me, the color purple is worse than what was the movie? The first like movie known for Hollywood. They what's it called? It remade the title, but he turned into something else. You know what I'm talking about? Nate Parker did.
Birth of a Nation.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's to me the color purple is right up there with the Birth of a Nation. Not Nate Parker's, but the original one.
Oh, there is no Birth of a
I think
Nation.
yep.
Propaganda against black men.
I think the color purple has done more damage to the black community than the Birth of a Nation.
Oh,
I don't even think it's close.
oh.
I think Kathleen Kennedy was involved with creating color purple too. I mean, when
Right.
you look at a lot, and here's another thing I believe. You ready for this?
But
If I ask you, do you think the majority of people think the color purple was based on a true story?
no,
I I believe the majority of black people believe color purple is nonfiction.
no. Color Purple is fiction.
No, I'm saying, but I believe the majority of black people believe it's nonfiction. What do you think, Donnie?
Donnie's away right now. But
Yeah, but
They think that movie is a story that was passed down to somebody's grandma, and then it was like, you know what? I'm gonna write this into a book.
yeah, they
Grandma's
believe
story
that shit
got to
is
be
based on a
told.
true story. Yeah, I'm telling you, I believe. Like, I'm gonna ask people because I'm curious. I'm gonna wait for that poll, but I would love for Kevin Samuels to do that. How many of you all think the color purple is based on a true story? I'm dead ass. But wait for that to come out. I'm dead ass. Then Entertainment Tonight. Oh yeah, that's another thing. You know he was on Entertainment Tonight. The Entertainment Tonight picked up the Kevin Samuels Nicki Minaj thing. Yo, they doctored the hell out of this shit.
Oh, they did.
They made Nicki Minaj look good, like lost in the sauce. They took out all that attitude. Like they said, we gotta white this up. But the Shade Room doctored it in the opposite way, where they tried to make it like, oh, she kept like they took out her rating herself as a 7. I'm like, wow, this is like politics. Y'all are just spinning it up, boy.
Yeah, it's all about controlling the narrative. And what I am starting to believe is mainstream media sooner or later are going to send their dogs. Like because we're having too much of an impact on the thought processes of people, and it's going to become even more prevalent. I would even say as early as this year.
I
You know.
mean, we got people like you got like if you look at like people that's like the most visible, like poor, like which if they try to just pull out anything any random
Mm,
person to say, but if you got people like Poor Man Mediocre, the lead attorney Kevin, then you got Dr. Sion Johnson, and Tommy Curry, even though he's not in the space, but
mm.
he's adjacent to Dr. I mean, obviously you got BGS and Angerman as well, but I mean, we ready if they do that. Now, if they just try to pull random people or try to make up people that ain't even in the space and talk for it, I mean, the problem is that's not gonna work in social media because if they just try to do the AstroTurf crap, it's gonna be very obvious they're doing that. Like it really is, especially because it's gonna be like, why aren't you talking to Kevin? And so the argument maybe, and that's what people are waiting for. People think Kevin's gonna sell out. Kevin's gonna sell out. I mean, not the way that I think y'all are. And then it's like if he ain't doing exactly what certain people want him to do, then that's selling out. So they want to
Man,
move the goal, but just like how now all of a sudden there's all these women in this space, you know, all these women in this space, and I'm like, what are you talking about? Like for real. And then when I ask them, the only person they can name is Jessica X. Well, Melanie King. I'm like, so basically y'all are just talking about women you see, basically.
yeah, but I believe that Jessica X is the shining example, and this is what I thought about how quickly she came up and how much she's getting paid. I think those are the two main things, and a lot of people's grievance is that this is a men's space, and that just shouldn't be. But I agree with Edward on the fact that he says that the audience decided that. It wasn't, the Black Manosphere itself. I would say the most it is probably just over 100 people. Granted, the content creators that we haven't discovered yet, and the ones that do claim Manosphere. I'll give an example. Have you ever heard of Moxie Approved? He drops the Manosphere all the time. I don't know if he's talking about the other Manosphere, the Manosphere that Coach Greg Adams is a part of,
It might
or
be.
are they talking about this one, or is he talking about this one over here? But I mean, there's plenty of guys that really dive into this subject matter, and they have different ways of doing it that haven't even been discovered yet. But one thing I will say is every time one of them fuck up, they stick it on the space. Like what's that dude named EDP 445? And
I mean,
we
that
didn't even know this guy.
yeah, I mean, but that was people in the space that tried to pull that crap. Truth be told, supposedly, and then you have going back to um you got people like IQ AAYEQ who's growing, but he's not in the space, but he be caping for females. But I mean, he don't cape for females actually like that. But like sometimes he will. Then you got the Shamaki way. I mean, at the end of the day, y'all like you.
Shimaki way is never gonna. Nah, that.
No, my point
Mm-mm.
is if you compare what we do to what they do, because that's what I'm talking about. See, so when they say like we female this, female that, that's dudes being hyperbolic to try to control shit. That's all that is. Black people use language in a very subjective way. They want to use words to communicate to try to induce feelings. not the comedic accuracy. So when dudes start getting like over the top about stuff and they get a little bit hyperbolic about it, yeah, or they start going extreme. Yeah, man, this is becoming a female. Like I had a female in my chat that was laughing at a dude in the comment, or laughing at a dude in the comment section where he said, "Me, this is a female space." She's like, really? I mean, and it's like she's been subscribing for a while, and like I mean, like my lifetime subscribership is like 5% women. Like you,
Well, I mean, well, let me see. I would say that it is a very predominantly male space. It has maybe a couple of female content creators, like, okay, the breakdown, a woman's perspective. That's Sister George right there, and she's habitual line stepper. Jessica X, Crimson Cure, Nicole Ali, who you barely see. Um who else? You also have people like Mahogany, who she's very closely associated with the space. So then you have Topaz from For the Record, and then you have Toya Sun, who
but a lot of
she credits me for bringing her in. So yeah, but I mean it's a predominantly male space, and feel like I do believe that men do lead the space, but just in case, I mean, anyone can feel free to take the lead, and maybe we should start a suggestion box. People want to, and that way people can drop what they want to see.
man, they got my email if they really want to see something. Man, these motherfuckers
I mean,
ain't. Most of them ain't saying nothing.
and they can always drop it in my comment section. Kev, can you do a show on this? Can you do a show on that? I mean, like Phil Brad a couple weeks ago, he requested that I do a show on the separation, and I believe that meant separation of men who are tired of the community. But I mean, I'm trying to get together something for that. I mean, people can always drop the suggestions on what they
Glendon's
want.
been talking about that for a minute. Yeah, that's But yeah, man, I mean, it's like I said, I've been in this space long enough that I know what it is. A lot of dudes, it's like their favorite YouTuber ain't where they think they should be, and what they low key doing is blaming the space. That's what it is. That's why when niggas sit here talking about, oh, how did you let Jessica X steal subscribers? You're supposed to go to my favorite YouTuber. That's really what they want to say. And it's like, what are you talking about? And like, when you really understand how irrational that is, when you really, maybe it's because I'm a marketer, when you really think about that, it's like, really think about what exactly you're saying. You're basically saying we control who these audience members listen to.
Hey, hold on 1 second, fellas. I got somebody backstage. I'm finna see who this guy is and why is he coming up.
Yeah, all right.
Hey, what's going on, Richard?
Nigger!
Okay, well, fuck you.
Oh, I don't know where y'all be tracking this from.
Oh, no, these are the kind of guys that come up. They'll come up with another name and they'll come up with another avatar, but they'll play porn trying to get your channel fucked up or do some dumb shit.
Oh
like
yeah,
that.
somebody did that to me, but I was ready for a trigger finger, so they got like 1 millisecond. I just had to go to
No, I
YouTube
put up.
editor. No, I saw what you did. That was slick.
Yeah. Yeah,
I know how to
that
go
over.
in. Yeah, I know how to go in the YouTube editor and fix that shit. But yeah, and truth be told, a lot of speaking of that bullshit, you got a lot of white dudes that they don't want us to have a space.
No,
They really don't. And a lot of these goofy dudes that want to be subversive because they're not getting their way. A lot of folks, there are folks that smell blood. That's why you got a couple of content creators that are the white content creators that making videos talk about Kevin and all that. 'Cause they cannot. You think y'all can't? They cannot stand that Kevin's getting all this attention. But it's
Yeah,
like people can't. Yeah,
What about 21 Studios though? Yeah, aren't they like white and they keep jumping on Donovan Sharp?
yeah, because that's like. Yeah,
Yeah, I
and
know. I
even
know that
O'Shea,
was like.
O'Shea is kind of like on some diplomatic stuff there. Not really saying, look, you over there, I'm over here. I respect you. I ain't trying to get a white audience, so don't worry about it. You know, so we good. And we both don't like Donovan because that Anthony the Dream has an issue because Donovan tried to, I guess, Debo they shit somehow. Game of Thrones they shit. I mean, I like Donovan, but Fresh and Fit out to Myron. Fresh and Fit, put him on this, put him in there. Didn't leave him hanging, even though Myron's vindictive that way. That's another thing, Donnie. So what do you think about Fresh and Fit? Because I ain't talked to you since any of that Fresh and Fit stuff. It's been a minute since I talked to Myron. It's been so, man, it's like a TV show that's been through like 5 seasons of bullshit.
That Fresh and Fit shit was funny as fuck.
Yeah, I mean, which one? Because we talking about, we got the Tommy situation.
Are you talking about Malik Shabazz? That one?
We got the Brittany Renner situation. We got the Asian doll situation.
The whole breakdown of their show, when this shit first happened, that was funny as fuck.
I ain't talked to you since the Abba Preach situation. Go ahead.
Yeah, that shit was funny as fuck.
Donovan is not white. Go ahead. My bad.
That shit was funny. Them niggas, they got defensive, rightfully so, but that shit was funny. Then Abby and Preach, they kept drilling it in, and at a certain point, they got bored. They kept putting videos out.
I don't think I've talked to you since the Glenn and Cameron underage thing.
Where he was fucking a minor or some shit like that.
Well, it's fucking a 16-year-old. Yes.
Yeah, that was some creepy shit. I mean, was he in a state that was at least legal?
Yes.
Well, it's morally wrong, but what you want me to do? You want me to go lock the nigga up?
Well, yeah. I mean, he was sitting. I mean, I still fuck with Glennon. So, Glennon. Niggas was getting mad because that was when all them new niggas was wilding out, virtue signaling. But it's sad because you type in his name even to this day, like on incognito. That's all that comes up. But he's still getting his money out of YouTube, which is amazing to me. But
but no, that shit tripped me out when let me see, Fresh and Fit with the whole bitch where she came out and she was doing the they was for me to get on the show I had to fuck. Oh well. Nobody forced you bitches to get on the show. That shit was funny. When the nigga came and knocked on the door and he stood in the gap and neither one of them niggas moved through.
Oh, you talking about with the he pulled the gun out like when he broke in?
Is that what happened? He pulled a gun out? Okay.
No. Myron pulled the gun out. The other dude.
Oh well.
Yeah, and talk about, yeah, man, I want to talk to you, man. And his name is Authentic Alpha Show. I mean, he got his own channel, man. He got a lot of push at first. Because Fresh and Fit lost hella subscribers, but they completely got that back.
Yeah, they ain't going nowhere. That shit was funny. When the bitch pulled out her pistol in the studio, that was funny as fuck.
I mean, yeah. See, that shit was before Act.
Mm-hmm. And then
brought out the spine capes. I'm not caping for nobody. I'm just, because y'all dick ride Tommy Sotomayor. Like, I've called, like, people are wrong. I'm gonna call that out. You all are, at the end of the day, I'm not even gonna relitigate that because, as far as I'm concerned, if y'all feel some type of way, go get them arrested. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna say. So I'm not denying that. So go do it. I mean, shit. Just like niggas are, oh man, you ain't gonna do nothing about Trayvon Martin. I mean, shit, y'all can't even get him off of YouTube. That's like real. I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna leave it alone.
The white man on YouTube.
That he put that video on YouTube and y'all couldn't even get him off of YouTube. Y'all ain't getting none of his channels canceled. In fact, that one channel actually grew a little bit, grew a good amount. So I mean, y'all can't even get him off of YouTube, but y'all sitting here telling me what the fuck I should do. And it's kind of like people always want certain people. It's like, I'm not supposed to be your moral anchor. Is that what I'm supposed to be? Like, what I say is good is good? I mean, I got an opinion. Donnie got an opinion. But y'all, like, yeah. So, I mean, at the end of the day, the question is, what are you all doing as an audience? But that's already been over and gone with. But, oh, yeah, he's caping. That's not caping. Saying I still deal with somebody is not saying I'm caping for them. But whatever. But going back to the Fresh and Fit thing, yeah, man, it's been a lot of shit that's just gone down, yo, man.
Them dudes is the cast of characters, but they're trying to figure out their way in this space. They want to seem a certain level of authentic, but they keep getting popped and found out that it's not true. If you get something paid, I ain't got no problem with it. At the end of the day, they'll get found out. They'll retool. They'll get found out again. They'll retool, which is what apparently has been happening, and they're gonna keep pushing through. I don't think their content is ever gonna stop at this point.
No, no, it's not because at this point, I mean, people don't care. I mean, and whatever they offer, people are getting value from it. Because the people are buying course. I mean, they're selling courses and stuff, so it's a little bit different. They're at
What are
576
they
right
selling
now.
courses in? YouTube,
No, they're selling courses and getting women. You know,
nigga.
no, you know who sell courses. You know who specifically sells courses?
The nigga who got
Fresh.
caught.
No, Fresh.
Yeah, is that the nigga who got caught with the Instagram bitches saying he was? You better fuck me to come on this show.
No, that's Myron. That's the
Okay.
one that's part Arab. I'm talking about the one with the stutter. He literally sells a text message course about how to get gang. Like they sell courses. Like they're internet marketers. Like
And
particularly Fresh.
I
And people
mean,
buy them, and they don't
yeah,
even complain about it. They're cool, and they do a lot of their stuff on Patreon too.
I see a lot of those dudes. They sell their shit. Like a lot of those pickup artists, those are the weirdest, corniest dudes ever. They've got a full system that actually works on how to pick up women. May not be the women you want, but it picks bitches up.
Yeah,
but yeah, but that's the same dude who was talking about the model he had, and he went for a kiss, and the bitch swerved him on air.
yeah, that sounds like Fresh, the
That's all
Caribbean
bad.
dude. Yeah, that ain't Myron.
Yeah,
Um,
that's all
uh,
bad.
what do you think about the act situation?
I'm not familiar.
Okay, so you do realize DJ Academics works with Fresh and Fit very
I've,
heavily, right?
I've seen that. I've seen that he's been out there in Miami, but I don't really watch Fresh and Fit.
I
I've
don't need.
caught some shit
Okay,
here and there.
wow. Okay, so you do realize the situation with Fresh and Fit and Brittany Renner, right?
I saw that he went on there, but it wasn't worth my time to watch. Just to be honest with you,
No,
I saw her
absolutely.
snapping.
So,
I
yeah,
saw her snapping on him, and I was like, "This shit, there's no way that they can win that." So I was like, to be real honest, it was going to be a goofy conversation with this bitch on there for likes and attention. I'm not giving my energy to that.
so pretty much, Brittany Renner wouldn't go on their platform. They had to go to Axe platform because apparently Brittany Renner does business with DJ Academics. That's what DJ Academics said, that she's a business partner. So he was kind of pigeonholing what Myron and them could say, but they had a pretty good conversation. Now the thing that you saw with Clip, that was just there to get people to see the show, but it wasn't like that throughout the whole thing. If you actually look at what was said.
Was they
Uh,
being friendly? Is that what that was? It was, oh, we've come
no,
to meet up.
they weren't being friendly. I mean, they stayed within frame of what they talk about. Like they said, look, people don't like us because we're honest. We believe in hypergamy. We talk about it as a real thing. Women, the mainstream don't. They want to talk about that. They want to talk about women are good and women, want this for you and all this blue pill crap. And Brittany agreed with it because Brittany was talking about she's being prosecuted for being hypergamous. And so that's kind of what they ended up. But they had a lot of different stuff. But when Myron was about to really make a really good point and get like Brittany would have to answer the point he made, Act would like basically just run his fucking mouth and kind of create space, kind of like a bullshit ass commercial.
He knew what he was doing. Okay.
He absolutely knew he was doing, and a lot of people didn't pick up on that. BGS picked up on that shit though, and then like BGS got in an argument with somebody because he was saying, "Look, man, that shit, not saying it was staged, but BGS said that Academics was running the face. It's like, no, they took the L. And BGS don't give a fuck about Fresh and Fit. And then it came out because Act was going at Rollo Tomasi, one of the main white dudes over in the white manosphere, because Rollo Tomasi is Fresh and Fit's boys. But obviously, Act can do more for them than Rollo can. So Act is trying to pull them from them. And so there's that. And that's when, Act talk about Kevin Samuels or the manosphere. He never go mainstream and all this bullshit. Then the Nikki situation happens. Then the preachers thing happens. You know. And then now, and see, that's another thing a lot of people don't understand. Everybody's looking at Kevin getting higher and higher and higher, but what they don't know is because forever Fresh and Fit fans were saying, "Oh, Fresh and Fit, they about to catch Kevin." Kevin, he ain't doing 30,000 no more. He doing 10,000 subscribe viewers now. See, he done fell off. And then this happened. Now they shut up.
Mm-mm.
But would you remember, the more that you see Kevin on Entertainment Tonight and all that stuff, and the more views he's able to drive, you're gonna see the Shade Room and stuff talk about him and all these like white owned blogs and shit. because I mean they're gonna have to, because if he's connected to all these people now, because you got to remember Royce the 5'9" to mention him, Summer Walker to mention him, with the Ari Lennox thing, Trina to mention him. Um, it's a couple of folks.
Mm.
Just to mention him, so he's getting more permeated. People are not seeing that, and my thing is, Kevin is leaving a lot of traffic in his wake that we can take advantage of if you're in a position to do so. But too many people are too busy crying about that he's, I guess, where he's at, rather than getting your coins where you can get it, and that's my thing.
Hey, can I?
Makes sense.
I
Let
mean,
me.
Shade Room can edit whatever they want to edit. I mean, if Shade, see, and that's the thing, man, because that's a Nigerian chick that runs that. If they gonna lie like that, that just shows you that they're, what I told you, they're propaganda. Because the thing about it is that's gonna catch up to them. They're gonna do that one good time, and then somebody gonna sue them for that or
What do
something.
you? Let me ask you this: what do you think about the FBA versus everybody conversation that's been running off on Twitter?
Oh, with Tariq is, I'm of two minds of that. First things first, I think, look, I'm ADOS. I'm unapologetic about that. I understand what our interests should be, and I'm gonna advocate for that. But I can work with other people. If we understand each other, then it's fine. But I think what Tariq is doing, I personally think, I'm gonna talk on the Twitter thing in a second. But I think what Tariq is doing is he's basically scapegoating non-ADOS folks to basically protect black female fuckery, because that keeps his money flowing. Now, there's worse things he could do, which is simp, but I don't agree with that. But it ain't like one of these things where I'm like, man, F Tariq, I can't believe you doing that. I mean, I see what you're doing. Don't act like you're not. As far as the Twitter thing, I mean, Act then said too that, try to play that ADOS people are lazy. I'm like, I love it, because the more they do that, the more people gonna start paying attention. They're gonna start sticking out, and that's ultimately gonna work against them. But we'll see. The problem is, yeah. So what's going on Twitter though? Like, what have you seen?
Yeah, I mean that's pretty much what it is. Dude named Mel opened up a space and he said, what, why are we bringing these out? What is it that immigration is doing for us? And that's when hell broke loose. Originally, it was the Nigerians who popped in. They was trying to give us their work. They was getting clowned, and then you saw I guess the horned Africans, the Ethiopians, Somalis. The motherfuckers started up a room, and we was every kind of nigga, monkey, baboon, project, this, the XYZ down the line. I personally don't see the Black American versus everybody argument from Tariq as a way to scapegoat for Black females, because I think it's larger than that. And this is coming from a person who married a British woman who her family is Nigerian or South African, right? So they split down the line. For the most part, her Nigerian family is cool. Her uncles, a couple of her aunts are cool. She's got two aunts in particular who I can just see it in their soul. They do not like me, not because of any other reason than I'm a Black American. And she goes out of her way to do disrespectful shit to the point to where she's banned from my household. She can't come around, right? And it's not the first time I've seen this from Africans. And we had a conversation the other day, which was basically on the premise of every time you see somebody in the news and it's something positive, you will see I am Ghanaian, I am Nigerian, I am Somali, I am XYZ. And you will take the pride for that. And when you see that motherfucker in the news and it's something negative, it's just he's black. Which in my mind, in my opinion, leaves all the negative shit on us and takes all the positive shit out of
I
us.
mean, my problem, yeah, no, I hear you, but my thing is that's more of an individual thing, because as long as we dealing with this gynocracy shit, because here's the problem with the ADOS thing: women will run to that shit from a perspective of trying to dick police dudes. Because now you're starting to see a lot of dudes starting to really be open about saying, like, oh, I just want to deal with an African American woman, and I don't want to do that. So I'm like, if you just want to deal with a black woman, then you have to meet them where they at. Like, because at that point, you pretty much saying you're submitting to them, because they're not going to change. Not the ones that already, the ones like I say 80% of them are off the chains, 20% of them within acceptable parameters. So if you're basically saying I'm only gonna deal with you, then they have no reason to change. They just don't. And I'm not even talking about from a marriage thing. I'm just talking about from a sexual access thing. This is not to say those women don't have their problems. Obviously, we're talking about some of it. But the game, understand that we're more on game than they are. When you're dealing with African Americans that's been overseas to understand what it is, we have a stronger sense of what these white folks is about than a lot of Africans do. A lot of Africans still get googly eyed with white folks. So when you're dealing with, but when people get to that level, that even like Dinah Samir, we can run circles around them, and I'm not even worried about that. Like I'm really not. And so like for instance, Nigerians globally they only have a good reputation in their country and in the U.S. Like, and they're not.
I wouldn't even say in the U.S.
Well, I mean, but globally, we got a much better reputation than they do. So Nigerians can kind of eat it with that. So I don't even sweat that. And it was even one of those things where I interviewed a dude by the name of Duke and Don Duke. And somebody shared me with this video that maybe like 4 months ago, he was on there and it was talking about, is the black manosphere like Fort 980s? And he was on there and he wasn't talking extra greasy, but he was talking a little bit, on the suspect side when it came to that. Even though he's had an African-American wife, that it didn't work out. And so I left a comment under there, being diplomatic, but being stern about it. I said, look, man, we got Jamaicans in our space. We got Nigerians in our space. We got Haitians, like the ones I knew were in our space pretty heavy, right? People that I could think of their name, like different people. And so I said, this idea that we're not, that's bullshit. Y'all are much more on that than we are. We got different problems, but at the same time, I don't know why y'all think y'all can run game on us when we grow up running game on each other. I'm talking about ADOS. So I don't understand where you think you can run game on us, and that's where y'all kind of mess up. Where y'all let white folks. The comment ended with y'all let white folks make you believe you are actually smarter than us, and the truth is, we choose to deal with y'all. We don't have to. It ain't like I don't like y'all really don't understand that because y'all are more tribalistic where y'all come from. And I always go back to we economically spend money with non-ADOS. I mean, here's the problem, and I'm gonna let you get in there. All of that, most of those black female blogs are ran by non-ADOS women. Straight up. And so I'm looking at the African American women is like, why aren't y'all getting that money? But y'all too busy hating on a black man. J-Room, all in places are ran by non-ADOS women. And this is not to say black men are doing any better. ACT, all of ACT. I mean, look, ACT, Auburn Preach, they're in Canada, but ACT, Fresh and Fit, I pay attention to that stuff. Like, that's an angle. Even with Rihanna getting with ASAP Rocky, his dad is from Barbados. I'm not saying that that's bad, but that's a connection there. So I pay attention to that shit now. And a lot of folks, it's like y'all want to. This is why stuff like this is Pookie Ray educated lame shit is so fucking goofy. Go ahead, man. I know you want to read the super chat.
Yeah, and thank you, Gilgamy, once again. Said the black manosphere should have been riding the KSNM interview wave as propaganda material for your agenda and flood social media search algorithms.
You right, but unfortunately, niggas want to do nigga shit. They prefer to have these old arguments rather than having, and my thing is, I don't have a problem. Remember, when I said network with the majority of black men, that's not ADOS too. I mean, it's a lot of different groups and a lot of different situations, and it is what it is. But, when I hear them Ethiopians say stupid stuff like that, like, that's like a Hispanic calling me a nigga. I'm like, okay. If I call you a wetback, you gonna feel a lot more certain type of way. Like, that shit only works for you do realize calling a black man a nigga only really works with white people. That don't work with y'all. You do realize that, right? Cause they be really out here believing the hype. Cause they ain't had a nigga wake up call.
Well, yeah, because I always find it funny because motherfuckers will come over here and talk great. Like I was dating this Jamaican chick. And she kept making little slick comments. So finally, I kind of got at her. And we just happened to be at eating lunch with her cousin. And both of these motherfuckers was talking crazy. And I think they felt some. I don't know if they felt some kind of superiority to me, or they just felt the ability to say something crazy. And my initial response was, "You motherfuckers live in shanty towns. What are you talking about? Black people are lazy." Well, explain to me. Explain to me
Like no,
how.
and that really, and it's the thing is, dude, like okay, we look at this because I'm not gonna say everybody because you talk about 40 million people, but like African Americans have not known, like as far as the last two generations, at least millennials and Xers, but I can argue the baby boomers as well. But I'd say Xers. And then when you argue the baby boomers, they deal with some outhouse stuff. Well, that depends on the damn South. We don't know the kind of poverty they done dealt with. So it's like for y'all to kind of play that game, and see, I'm light skinned, so they know not to pull that shit with me. Because I don't even got to say nothing, and I hate to say it that way, but you know how they are. Donnie, they'll look at like me, and they won't even try that shit with me, even with me being short. They won't even see. I don't deal with that much because they won't pull that shit on me. But I've seen them pull that shit, and I've told people straight up, I'm like, yo, we don't even know what like niggas don't. There's a lot of black people. Most black people in the United States, African Americans, don't even know what not to have plumbing is like. I'm talking about in the
Fact.
projects. The worst thing we
Fact.
dealt with is in Chicago, if you go in the projects and then they don't got doors, like they got doors for the initial door, but like in the other places in the place, they got the little beads and shit. Yeah, you got that, but that ain't no, like, we don't know the kind of poverty you all have dealt with. So for you to come at us on that bullshit, it's funny to me because it's really just you gassing yourselves up. And it's like, what are y'all talking like? And so when Caribbeans do it, it's actually comical to me. Africans, I can kind of see with them because they dealt with colonialism. But with Caribbean, like y'all niggas was slaves. Y'all was slaves too. The only thing you can say that's different between you and us is we were bred. Y'all actually could say, okay, y'all was shipped over here, and then in America they started breeding us. But other than that, you all are slaves just like us. I don't know what y'all are. What are you talking about? Like, I can see it from the Africans. I can see it from the Ethiopians because the Ethiopians weren't conquered. So they got a little right to talk a little shit. They got they got as far as Etria. So Etrians were with Italians, but truth be told, other than them, rest of y'all, it's like, what are y'all talking about? But they really believe they saying something. And they won't, and you notice they won't do that if they the only one. If they the only one, and they just around 8 of those people, they won't do that. But when they get in little groups, and it's like, yo, like y'all are being subject to the American empire. I mean, they literally build hotels over there, and everybody. Come on, y'all let these fat hoes fuck your dudes and turn your dudes into concubines. Hell, they wrote a book called Pursuit of Happiness in Duke University Press about that. Y'all can't even stop that. That's how broke y'all men are. That they gotta fuck fat bitches just to get a couple of coins. I mean, and look, I got a lot of respect for Jamaicans that are here. There's a lot of Jamaicans in this space. But when people start talking greasy, I'm not gonna play the tit for tat thing. I'm just gonna laugh at you. Something like, aw. That's how I do it, and they be really getting mad at that. But like I said, they don't try me because I'm light skinned, so they tend not to try me.
Yeah.
I like the back and forth because it should be funny to me to see their faces explode. Like I had motherfuckers talk about how what did this bitch say? She was Haitian. She was telling me about how Black Americans don't clean like Haitians. They do it better. And I was like, clean? She was like, yeah, your body, your house, everything. I said, so what's the technique here? Is bathing from a bucket better? And that bitch went on. I was all kind of macaques and everything else.
I mean, the first thing I would have said is, I'm sure you do have to be experts at that shit. I mean, it's like somebody saying that I can hunt food, but you live in the wild. I mean, yeah, you got to know how to cut that shit up and gut that. You got to know how to do that shit. Versus I can go to the fucking grocery store. I mean, shit. It's just like, I'm not even being mad. This is like dudes in the South where they know how to do a lot of stuff with. It's like, okay, Cubans, they know how to do a hell of a lot of shit with cars. Well, we know they couldn't get cars. So it's like in the 150. I'm not even saying, but
them niggas is magical with a car. And
I'm just saying, I'm like, dude, Haiti is the poorest country in the Western Hemisphere, and Black people have, like, you realize the only reason y'all are over here. I mean, look at what they doing to them right now. If Black people don't make a push for them to be over here, white people got a thing about fucking with Haitians. because of that 1804 shit. They will never let that shit go. And it's like, I can't believe y'all don't understand that. Like, y'all are gonna be the first. Like, Jamaica kind of play that game a little bit. Y'all are gonna be the first ones they fuck with just because of that blood feud. I don't know why that generation. That's why they play the game with the Red Cross. Everybody gives the Red Cross money and they don't give it to none of y'all. Tariq did a thing on 1804 just to give respect. So when they say that, I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, do you even understand what you're? But like I said, they don't try that. Because one time somebody tried that with me, I said, I'm light skinned. And they got mad as fuck. I don't give a fuck. And I said that because I know that would. I said that because I know that would piss him off. Because I said, "Are you serious? Are you?"
Well, you gotta walk.
I still fuck 15. That bitch too. That's what makes that so funny. Go ahead.
Yeah, you gotta walk 15 miles to get gas for your generator.
I'm not even, because that shit ain't even funny to me. But I'm like, yo, why are you are you serious? Are you that like I don't get, like, because that's some self-esteem shit. That's what that is. That's some insecurity shit. That's what that is. I know what that is, and that's why I don't. Like I said, man, it's just like a motherfucker called me a monkey the other day, on Bernard's panel. You know, oh, look, you look like a light skinned monkey. I'm like, really? You're trying to roast me? Is that what this is? A dude 62 years old. I'm like, so this is what you're trying to do? You're trying to roast me right now by calling me a monkey. The picture I got right now, the avatar, somehow that's a monkey from Planet of the Apes. And this is a dude that's supposed to be pro-black.
Well, that's usually with them pro-blacks. They go to the blackest insults as well. Just like Malik Shabazz did, what's his name? Fresh.
Oh, yeah, you're dark as tar. I'm like,
what the hell is going on with this man? Hey, but listen up. I'm going to wrap this up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's longer, but it turned out to be a pretty good conversation. So, any final statements, fellas, before I give my final?
No, I'm good. I ain't dropped content in a while because I've been busy, but I'm gonna switch it up. I'm gonna drop some of these videos of these cars I've been doing. Let y'all see that shit, and why not?
And I will be dropping those videos in my community tab. Check out YAS4W. That's Donnie's channel. Also check out Edward Anderson as well. Probably most of you watching are already subscribed to him, but anyway, just check him out. Big part of the space. So anyway, Edward.
Yeah, all I say, there won't be a monologue, is at the end of the day, man, a lot of this stuff is white noise, it's distraction. If you're a content creator, the main focus should be, getting your numbers up, getting engagement up, getting your money up, getting your content up, getting better at making it. When it comes to the non-ADOS thing, that shit don't matter. Fuck who fucks with you, because there's a lot of dudes that are ADOS that don't fuck with us. You see that internal battle going on here. You got a lot of, whether it's Blue Pill or whether it's the Road of Roses that I call it. And then as far as folks that are non-ADOS, I mean, I fuck with people, and I know who to keep at arm's length. Like, I know people that they just, my friend, on that BS. And when they're useful, I keep them at arm's length. We have something we can mutually exchange. And then people that really, that are not ADOS that you can really rock with them. It's really that serious. I mean, it ain't no thing, because it ain't like if I go in their country, I ain't gonna clean the fuck up. So it is what it is. And anyway, I'll leave it at that.
All right. Thanks for stopping by, Edward.
Yeah,
and Omega Dreads, you must be reciting a song or something, or something you wrote down there. But you going off, man. You're dropping some gems, kind of creative. But anyway, all I gotta basically say is just go ahead and just get ready for the storm. I mean, if you're going to be a black man that steps up on these platforms and you're going to give whatever your truths are, just get ready. We are always going to face this opposition from, women and unfortunately men too. So, just kind of something to think about. And, I know what I'm here for. And what my purpose is. And, these guys are pretty much here for a purpose as well. I ain't gonna lie, I'm just tired and I just sound like I'm rambling. But Anyway, man, look, let's be better than what's being displayed, and everything will be okay. So, that's it. I'm tired. I'm about to go to sleep. This is Kev. This is Black Men Being Brutally Honest. Long live the habitual line steppers. And Kev, we trust. Till the next time.